unique as your needs. Let them create the closet, office, entertainment, or storage system of your dreams. A family-owned business and the most trusted custom closet provider in St. Louis. They offer an unlimited product range to fit any area of your home. Now through the end of May, receive $500 off your minimum purchase of $2,500. Go to closetfactory.com or call them at 314-961-4300 to schedule your free design consultation and explore the art of organization. The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rip my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome into the Annie Fry Show. Happy Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. There's lots to talk about, but I pulled Gabe Phifer into the studio here.
Yeah, I'm a freaking genius.
Okay, so you're a rocket scientist.
Brilliant! Knowledge is power.
People already looking on the Facebook live stream on the Annie Fry Show Facebook page and the Annie Fry YouTube page going, wait a second, I see Gabe. Is it Friday? No, it's not, but kids' last day of school tomorrow, so I'm going to mom it up tomorrow. As I waddle myself around like I'm functional.
So you've gotten to the waddling stage now?
No, actually, in fairness, I have not. Okay. But I also don't walk very much. It's getting to the point where it's just like sedentary is good. Why not? Yesterday.
It works.
A little bit of background about what's going on in my house right now. Broadcasting from home here today. And when you hear hammering or banging of some sorts, Closet Factory is in my house right now, transforming my two daughters' closets, because one of those closets has to be transformed into a closet for two people now, because my youngest daughter is going to share that closet with a baby. How much closet space do you actually think a baby needs? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that yet, but I'm about to have some sweet closets going around.
We have experts for that.
And the Closet Factory is here, and they have been such an amazing... I heard from the Closet Factory, from Candace, who came to my house and designed what I expect is going to be life-changing, and I will 100% pull that back if that's an exaggeration after the fact. I'm taking pictures of before and after. I'm going to show all that to you when the project is done. But like, disorganization is stressful, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Quite.
Who among you here are neat freaks? Any of you?
I'm
not
pretty
that
neat.
level.
I'm pretty neat.
Ryan's like, solid no.
Yeah, I'm pretty neat.
You're neat?
Yeah, I'm pretty neat.
Do you have a messy, some people, for me, I read about this one time. I was a psychology minor in college, and feel like I've used more of my psychology minor in life than I did my mass communications major, even though here I am. Just a lot more sense talk than psychology. But I remember hearing or reading an article or something about being a super organized type A person. Generally speaking, these people will have one area of their life that's just incredibly out of control. Like there's something that it might be their car, it might be their bedroom or their bathroom, or maybe it's their email or something like that. But for each their own. I I can't keep up. I can't keep up with all these kids, and I'm having another. What the heck am I doing?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, it's like, do we have all the kids in the house? Are they all ours?
Are they here?
High five. Let's go to bed. Yeah.
My mom, I just so everybody knows, I'm number 7 of 8 children,
Golly.
and my mom would count
Show
us.
off.
She would count us. Out
Like in
loud.
general?
Out loud, so
I
we
don't
would
blame
all
her.
hear. So whenever we're going someplace,
Were
we're
you
moving from
always
point A
number
to point-
7, or was it just
No, it's just
an inventory?
it's just taking inventory. It's like, okay, I started with 5 kids on this shopping trip. I want to make sure that I leave the store
Yes.
with 5 kids.
That's great.
And she looks at us to make sure we're all like hers. Because occasionally
'Cause that's
you,
what
get- you
That's
get-
really what
you
mom's
pick up
momming comes
you
down to.
pick up a straggler. You know,
I remember
one of us
whenever
grabs a friend.
whenever I was little, like really
Trading
like,
Tommy in for Timmy over here.
when I was 15, I remember when people would ask this question because for some reason or another, whenever you're in high school, people start to ask like, "What's your dream family? Like, what do you want to
No,
have?"
that was in
whenever-"
5th grade when you played Mesh.
That's true.
That's
But
the
I
girl
remember
thing.
my answer was always like, "I want to have 5 kids. I want to have this humongous family." And
This was the Katie Bailey answer?
This was the Katie Bailey answer. At 15, I was like, I want to have all these kids. And then like time started going on. And like we had this conversation yesterday. You want to be a little bit selfish. You want to have a little bit of money to yourself. You start figuring out a big family equals all of those things don't really happen. And so that changed over time. But I remember at like 15 years old being like, I want to have all these kids. And now I'm like, oh, Annie's on number 4.
Stop it.
Hey, mama.
You say on number 4 like there's a
There-
more to that
there's
sentence.
no continuation.
There's
She's
a
on
period at the end of that sentence. No pun intended. I really think that there is I really think that when you look at those things that pull you back, I was reading this article. I'm going to pull this up right now. I think I saw this on KSDK, but I've seen it in several other places as well, suggesting that sperm count is decreasing significantly. Have you guys seen this story?
I haven't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't believe that was true just from, that
Your
much.
science research? I don't even
Too many
want
kids.
to
From
know.
Ryan Science.
I am
RyanScience.com.
not sure what to say. Brink of a fertility crisis. Scientist says plummeting sperm counts caused by everyday products. A 40-year-long study showed sperm counts, 40 years, have dropped by nearly half. According to Dr. Swan, she hypothesizes men will no longer produce sperm by 2045.
If we
What?
if we keep going,
What?
now it's
I
probably
bet
gonna
that's related to weight
the-
because our weight is also going up dramatically. I wonder if that has anything to, like, if one counteracts the other.
Well, I would contribute to that too and say that going back to what the headline says here, caused by everyday products, I think a lot of the things that are in our everyday products are affecting our weight. So I bet when you think about how things are made and the chemicals that go into things, the I don't know, the fake
constant
stuff.
radiation
You know
from
the
our
thing.
devices.
5G, just kidding.
But
kidding.
what's sad?
I
is
know 2% that is like a conspiracy, but I don't even understand it.
Well-
So don't put me in that cat. That camp.
Conspiracy theories are often based on a tiny grain of truth. So yes, your devices are producing a radio wave. That's how it communicates with the towers and everything and other devices. And so yes, it's producing quote unquote radiation, but it's the same radiation you get from the radio in your car.
Where do you put your phone
But-
at night when you're sleeping?
Nightstand?
On the nightstand?
Yeah.
Katie?
Mine's right by my head.
On the bed.
On the bed,
Yep.
by my
Wherever
head.
it falls out of your hand when you
Yeah.
fall asleep.
Me too.
You too, Ryan?
Yeah.
Mine, I try to put it on the nightstand. I usually get it there, especially since I'm up and down a million times during the night these days. But you see those stories, those headlines about, your bed catching on fire because of is it connected or is it not connected to something?
It's charging, yeah.
I think that's really
Always
bad.
It probably is.
You would know.
It probably is.
Well,
You're the
no,
astronaut.
I mean, these things, I think, as far as I know, they kind of regulate, themselves, and that they're not going to overcharge and explode or anything. It's not
Anything that ends in they're not going to overcharge or explode that starts with, as far as I know.
I mean, as far as I know. Well, the thing is, I'm an actual scientist, so I like to couch my things because there are things I don't know. Other
Wait a second.
other
Get him off the
scientists
show.
like to say
That's not why you're here.
other scientists like to say things in very definitive language
Yeah.
to basically to flaunt their authority that they carry from their
Prove
title.
their smartness.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like, I'm the expert, so what I say is X, Y, and Z. Well, sometimes you don't know stuff.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
But even to your other, to this news story though about the falling sperm count, there's also the falling testosterone levels in men. Like a 20-year-old has about what half of what a 20-year-old in World War II had.
Yeah.
So you can tell.
How's that bode for Biden's army?
FYI, you can kind of tell. Society has been getting a little less masculine for a while now. And it's bad. It's all bad. I don't know what's happening. Men are getting like destroyed by our environment. I don't know why.
Can since you're the scientist here, and Ryan's fertility science, we can add that.
Ryan Science.
Can that? I would think if it could decrease, that scientifically over the course of enough time, it could increase again. Or is that just a waning?
Well, what usually happens with things is they follow a curve. They'll tape, whatever environmental effect is causing all this will kind of its ability to change us biologically will kind of taper off. So we'll settle on some new level, obviously lower. I don't know if we will be capable of adapting beyond it. Environmental changes are usually pretty stark and I should say environmental changes that we cause, I'll say it that way, are usually a little more rough on us than, let's say, natural environmental changes that move on, millennial scales and things like that. So I don't know if we'll be able to overcome it naturally. We'll probably have to figure it out, do some research as to what exactly specifically are the causes, and then kind of root those out of our life. And hopefully the levels will return because, our biology sets the maximums and the minimums on these things, usually barring external stimuli. So
there's probably a little Darwinism going on there.
Well, maybe. I mean, I think life has gotten so easy that a lot more, I hate to say it this way, a lot more weak people are surviving that wouldn't have.
Can I just drastically floor this into politics right now?
Oh, let's go.
I've said this before, but I think this is a perfect example of it. How our countries in the United States, our tendencies, at least publicly, to lean into the idea of socialism is the epitome of the benefit of living in an incredibly capitalistic society.
Yes.
We have the privilege of dabbling in the idea of something that sounds so utopian that we would all just, love to love one another. We hate each other. There's no freaking way that you're going to implement some type of socialistic, in that utopian world, communistic type of lifestyle where, it's really hard to go talk to someone who knows nothing about what's going on in the world. That doesn't mean they're stupid. That might actually mean they're smarter in some cases. To mention the word equity or equality, which mean different things, and suggest that because of equity and equality, you should be for something or against something without actually talking about the political game that goes behind those words. And when you say, why would you be against everybody having an equal outcome? Look at the life you lead. It's a great life. Why would you want to hold that back from anyone? Why the heck do you think that the government's going to provide this life that I've worked my tail off for everybody? It ain't going to work like that. And when you take away an individual's opportunity to earn that for themselves, which to Gabe's point requires work, effort, sacrifice, and yes, in fact, failure along the way.
Oh, yeah.
You'll eliminate that opportunity for anybody to achieve it. And then, look around the world. Where has socialism been implemented? Show me the success stories. I'll wait.
Now, to the falling testosterone levels and all those things, it actually does play into politics in another way. In that, and there was a study done on this, so don't at me. Actually, do at
but
me.
Please,
let's talk about it.
Don't at me.
At John Philosopher.
Yes, at John Philosopher on Twitter. If people who are, I don't want to say beta, but basically low performing type of people are overly concerned with equality or equity, I should say equity, and highly competitive people and high achievers are very concerned with the equality of opportunity because of their capabilities of exploring
opportunity versus outcome. Do we want to advocate for an equal opportunity for everyone? Heck yes.
Yes.
Do we want to advocate for an equal outcome?
No.
Sorry, that's a loss for everybody.
It requires tyranny by definition.
Tyranny. Very good word. Quick break. When we come back, Gabe's in studio with Ryan and Katie and myself throughout the day. We're going to get a visit from Tyrus as usual on Thursday. And Kevin Wheeler is going to stop in the 2 o'clock hour to talk to us about the Blues playoffs. Whew, yikes. And also the St. Louis Cardinals, Jack Flaherty up there getting chatted around like with the names of Bob Gibson and such. What a season he's having so far. We'll get that update at 2:25. But our conversation is going to take place throughout the course of the day here with you. You can join us on our live chat on the Facebook page, Annie Fry Show on Facebook, or the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Go like, go subscribe, go share. Come back here. We'll be right here on 97.1 when you return. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
How might this week's big stories impact your portfolio? Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale with Stifel. Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Eric Robert during On the Money every Saturday from 11 till noon right here on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
Spring is a great time to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with new windows. Mark Cox here from my friends at Window World. I'm a satisfied customer. You will be too. Call them today for a free home estimate. They'll show you why they are simply the best for less. Window World windows are so durable. They stand behind their windows with a lifetime warranty that covers all parts and glass breakage and labor. They were ranked #1 in windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine, and they're the preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. Window World does great work as they did in my home when they replaced 2 large bathroom windows. They measured them, they built them, and got them installed in no time. You will love working with my friends over at Window World. They're now offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Call them today at 314-993-1800, 993-1800, or windowworld.com.
Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the bagel loan. It's where you go when you want to save money. Obviously, you do a lot of crazy things going on right now. What's the equity like in your home? Are you looking at maybe taking some cash out? Have you looked at the equity in your home lately? You might be very pleasantly surprised. Reach out to Stewart's American Mortgage at 314-324-4440. You're going to get a hold of Stewie. You can call him or you can text him there and say, I heard about you on the Annie Fry Show and I want to know what the bagel loan can do for me. Why the bagel loan versus all of these other people who are talking to you about going to them to get the historic low rates? Because the bagel loan saves you money by not charging you all those fees to actually go through the process of a refinance or a home purchase. If you're looking to purchase a home as well, the bagel loan is going to give you no closing costs, no title fees, and no lender fees. This is an amazing way to make you a more competitive buyer, and Stewie is the guy to help you do it. 314-324-4440. Call him today, 314-324-4440. Tell him Andy said hello. He always loves to hear that. And MLS number 226715.
Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet, and if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic, and ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. They protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees if you leave in the first 30 days. ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic, mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
We have dozens of Palestinian children who have been killed in the last week with American bombs. I have no proposed solution to this conflict. I have no proposed solution. Better minds than mine. Maybe General Jack Keane can help. Been floundered, frustrated by this complexity. I know this, though, Martha, and I want our audience to, the fact that the United States of America is providing Israel many of the weapons Israel's using today to kill Palestinian civilians without even demanding a ceasefire. Tlaib is right. That makes us complicit in an ongoing crime against humanity.
So if you've been watching Fox News lately, some of us more than others, of course, I was talking to my husband today, and I said, does Geraldo Rivera get hazard pay for coming on these interviews, these double guest interviews, where they basically put Geraldo up there to get eviscerated by the other guests on there? Because Geraldo to me is the classic bleeding heart liberal. He wants kids in Palestine to stop being killed. Well, yeah, we all do. You know what? The Palestinians do. The Israelis do. You know who doesn't give a crap about that? Hamas. Do you know why Hamas is going to these places to store things, to launch strikes from these things? They're doing it purposely so that people have to advocate for their side, because they're willing to put their own Palestinian people in harm's way. And Katie just said this on the break. Geraldo, once again, I mean, it's not just on this subject. He's out there saying things that I know he feels, but you need to think a little bit more about it here.
Saying things.
So, Katie, did you do this Joan Rivers spot?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this obviously is from 2014. Joan Rivers is no longer with us. She was approached at LAX, I believe it was, and asked about the conflict that was. Remember when this was happening?
This was classic.
Yeah. Do you remember when this was airstrikes in the Middle East? That was it. What is it? Tuesday? You know, like that's just the way the world was. That changed under the Trump administration. Listen to Joan Rivers respond to this popular.
I'm trying to get celebrity reactions to what's going on with the Palestinians and Israelis right now.
Let me just tell you, if New Jersey were firing rockets into New York, we would wipe them out. I am so bored. We heard they were digging tunnels from New Jersey to New York. We would get rid of Jersey. So I don't want to hear anymore. Oh, we'll do a partial truce. The Palestinians, you cannot throw rockets and expect people not to defend themselves.
What about the civilian casualty rate?
Then don't put your things in private homes. I'm sorry. Don't you dare put weapon stashes in private homes, and then we say get out. Of course, we're going to do it.
The response normally is where are the civilians supposed to go?
I don't care. They started it. You're all insane. They started it.
You're all insane. We need Joan Rivers back. Somebody speak truth. This is the second part of this clip, because first, I'm glad that you cut it that way, Katie, because that is the perfect spot to cut her absolute substantive response to the idea. But what about the Palestinian kids? Yes, exactly. What about the Palestinian children that are being put in harm's way by a terrorist organization that is being funded by Iran, which was funded by the Obama administration in 2014? What about those people? Israel gets jacked in the face with a sucker punch, and they're supposed to not do anything about it? I mean, watching people not pay attention to the details behind how this conflict works, and it works this way every time. Jim Carafano, if you haven't been listening to his interviews here on this show, go to the podcast and listen to him, because Jim Carafano is on fire. I'm sure it's the same thing with his hits on the Mark Cox Morning Show. But listen, this part is the best.
You're all insane. They started it. What are you all saying? They started. The Israelis did not throw their... For months this has been going on.
How do you
what
resolve
are you supposed to do?
How do you resolve
I know? Because I have been over there. That's how I know. and I wish the world would know. And BBC should be ashamed of themselves, and CNN should be ashamed of themselves, and everybody stop it already.
You know, like Dwight Howard tweeted Free Palestine to the back. Selena Gomez tweeted a pro-Gaza.
Oh, Selena
Yeah.
Gomez. Oh, yeah, that college grad.
Yeah. All right, Joe, thank you. John, thank you so
Oh,
much.
well, Selena said that.
Rihanna has to take it back.
Tell her. Let's see if she can spell Palestinian.
I'll ask her right now. Thanks, Joan.
Joan Rivers, if a celebrity came out and did and said what Joan Rivers just said right now, they're all like, oh, thank you, Joan. Thank you so much for being out here. I don't know that 6-7 years later that a celebrity at LAX would be able to say these kinds of things and still get the slobbery celebrity effect that Joan Rivers just got there. But she's so Selena. Wait a second. Selena Gomez said that? Well, I changed my entire opinion on the matter. On Middle Eastern peace.
Oh.
Give me a break.
Her I'm too old for this crap vibe throughout that entire diatribe is beautiful.
Zero poops given, for
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly.
But what did she say there that was not right?
No, I mean, every single part of it was correct. I mean, because here's the thing. Yes, typically schools, hospitals, media buildings are no-goes, right? They're off limits. They are non-military targets. But the thing is, if you store your rockets in a hospital, it's not a hospital anymore. It's a munitions depot.
And you've made it that.
Yeah.
Purposely.
If you store your troops at the press office, it's a barracks. It's not a press office anymore. If you fire your rockets from the top of a school, it's not a school anymore. It's the front friggin' line of the battle.
Yeah.
You can't claim civilian status on things that you convert into military purpose. That's one of the basic rules of war. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the name on the building says. It matters what's happening there. And the fact that the Israelis give this huge heads up. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was somebody tweeted out a translated call of an IDF officer speaking to an official at a hospital, telling them that they were going to get bombed, and he was saying, "Please get out, please get out." And they said, "No." He's like, "Wait, we're going to stay here, do what you want." And he said, "But we have to protect the children. You don't want you have to take the children." And he said, "No, let them die so we can show your cruelty." And
I mean,
and my response to that is I believe the correct one is, if the Palestinians, or at least the ones in charge, cared about their children more than they hated Israel, all of this would go away.
Christopher on Facebook says, yes, exactly what Gabe is saying. Jennifer on Facebook said, Katie, can you put the Joan Rivers cuts on the Facebook page? YouTube's not letting me play the video. I mean, let's talk about Joan Rivers for a second, because that was 7 years ago. Do we have Joan Rivers anymore? I mean, are we in a position where we still have people? Because I would look at Joan Rivers, and I know that she at times would speak sensibly in a way that, like, today would make her a raging conservative for what she's saying. But she wasn't a known conservative, was she?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, she just spoke straight on issues, and she was very aggressive in the way she talked because it was Joan Rivers. And I can't hear, when I hear that, when I watched the video, I didn't have the sensation. When I listen to it on the radio, I just hear Dot Matrix from Spaceballs, and it makes it even better.
Yes.
Because I want to see Dot Matrix telling the paparazzi what's up. That just
Are you insane?
I think there's a lot of comedians that hold that kind of ground that Joan Rivers held. I think that
they're speaking on it.
I think the comedians right now are like engaging in this common sense type of thinking, that they're coming from the same place as Joan Rivers, and society, or I should say a lot of the mainstream media, is labeling them right-wingers or conspiracy theorists or something like that. They're putting a negative connotation or a title onto these comedians because all they're doing is speaking common sense. I mean, look at what's happening with Joe Rogan. If you follow Joe Rogan, and if you listen
Tell
to
us
his
what's happening with Joe Rogan. Yeah.
Well, if I'm someone that loves Joe Rogan, I've listened to him for a very long time. He's always been controversial because he does speak his mind, and he has a lot of scientists and philosophers,
everybody.
People, yeah,
he has long form conversations.
Yes, and he allows
the number one listen to podcast that exists, right?
Yes,
period.
And he allows his guests to explain what's going on, not from what they believe politically and not what they think is right, but from pure scientific stances. Or, he will have politicians on to get that perspective. But during these interviews, a lot of the time, Joe is just listening. And he has these common sense theories that are his own opinions that he throws out there because he's collecting all of this knowledge and data from previous interviews from people that he's had on the show. But the minute that he says something that doesn't align totally with a progressive left or someone that's probably labeled a Democrat, all of a sudden media goes after him and says that he's this right-wing conspiracy theorist or that he's like caving into, the GOP or something like that. And I think comedians like Joan Rivers have reached a moment in time where they're like, I have to either choose, I need to choose. And my choice is going to be to have fun, to tell the jokes, but also not to cave because
to be unafraid.
And that's what comedians are. They are not supposed to be afraid of anything.
Yeah.
And now they're in
That's
a
why you
crossroads.
watch.
Yes.
You want to know what's going to happen next. And to your point, especially with Joe Rogan, I mean, that's probably the finest example of the complete opposite of what cancel culture is, because it is a long form conversation where one of the reasons why it is as successful as it is because you get to hear people talking about things that outside of that conversation, you're not allowed to talk about, or you're not even really supposed to participate in or listen to, because the mob, which again, I asked this question here recently, how loud is the mob versus how actually large is the mob? Because the mob is not big, but they all have
megaphones.
Yes, they have gotten the right platforms to make sure they are the noisiest of the bunch. When you listen to a podcast like Joe Rogan, and to an extent, what we will try to do here on the Andy Fry Show from time to time is have those conversations in a way that allows people. I always welcome you to call the show 314-241-9797 and challenge things that we're saying and have that respectful conversation, as long as it stays respectful. Joe Rogan will have Alex Jones on his show, but I don't, when you listen to, I watched some of that. If I'm taking it, I usually watch him on YouTube. He asks questions to get deeper and deeper into the mind of the person who is his guest. It's not about Joe Rogan. It's about his guest and trying to iron out and discover, how did this person get to this place where they think this thing, or they did this thing, or they participated in this thing, and exposing that. I mean, to me, in many cases, if you're going to watch like a full Alex Jones thing and you think he's a nut job to begin with, or if you think that he's the smartest man alive, a little more in the early camp here, if you watch him and he's explaining how he gets to be that point, that doesn't make me necessarily change my mind on what I think he's doing. It just helps me understand why he got there. It might fortify the opinion I came in with. It might change it completely. But the only way that I get more information to subsidize the thought that I have on any particular person or issue is to listen to them. And cancel culture says, no, you don't speak. You stop now. You apologize for what you did, and you will have to continue to apologize for it for the rest of time. That's what cancel culture does, which makes us all dumber, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And the thing is that you end up with this kind of cult thinking in the culture. Oddly enough, cult and culture are related words. But where one of the signs of being in a cult is that they prohibit you from engaging in conversation or reading books about things that might counter the narrative of the cult. Right. Yeah. So that's what we have right now. We have a left that, because they control education, media, and entertainment for the most part, they get to control the conversation mostly. Now, when they see anybody who's, getting a little popular or who has a deleterious effect on their ability to propagandize people, they say they must be destroyed. They must be, you can't listen to that. Don't listen to those crazy right-wing conspiracy theorists, AKA, mainstream conservatives. Mm-hmm. You don't want to hear what they say, because it's part of their propaganda. It's part of how they work.
Yeah, it for sure is. Thanks for listening so far to the Annie Fry Show. Reminder, you can stream us on the Odyssey app. If you're in your car right now, grabbing lunch on a beautiful day. Today, it's felt like a really nice pool day.
Oh.
Get outside and enjoy some sun, maybe even sweat a little bit. It's
Barbecue
amazing.
something.
Yeah, exactly. Check us out on the Odyssey app. You can take us with you anywhere you go, back into the office, back into home, wherever you're going. Take a walk. Download that Odyssey app on your phone and stream 97.1 FM Talk all day, every day. We'll be right back with more with Gabe, Ryan, and Katie in just a minute. Don't go away.
It's alright. It's alright.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
She moves in mysterious ways. It's alright.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Alright. She moves in mysterious ways.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Get guaranteed hours year-round, up to $25,000 signing bonus, and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Hi, this is Tracy, president of Acropolis Technology Group. I want to start by recognizing our team's exceptional hard work during this pandemic, and apparently our clients recognize it as well. We were just honored by not winning one Best in Business award, but 4 Best in Business awards. We won Best IT Firm, Best in Cybersecurity, Best in Customer Service, and Best in Value. These 4 awards are a culmination of our team's hard work every single day, all done during the most challenging year we've had in our 24-year history. What these 4 awards tell me is that we are recognized for being experts at our craft. We do it in a friendly way, and our clients see value from partnering with us. I can't think of 4 better awards that summarize what it is we do for our clients each and every week. Acropolis has been helping some of the region's best companies protect, optimize, and grow their businesses now for many years. We have done it for them, and we can help you too. To find out more, give us a call or visit us at acropolistech.com. That's Acropolis, TECH.com. Acropolis. It's a better way to manage IT.
It's Small Business Month, and Dell Technologies and Windows are celebrating your unstoppable drive. Save up to 45% on powerful PCs with Windows 10 Pro to work from anywhere, plus top monitors and docks for the ultimate business setup, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right business tech, server, storage, and cloud solutions at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL for Small Business Month savings.
It's Mattress Firm's best Memorial Day sale ever. Save up to $500 on our best brands when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base when you spend $699. Or save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Shop America's best brands confidently with our low price guarantee. Hurry into Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
Edwards Carpet is so grateful to our military personnel that sacrificed their lives for our country. Please honor them this Memorial Day. We owe our way of life to these heroes. God bless America.
Come on down to Edwards Carpet Stores.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc., from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visits your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
Are you the one not smiling in photos? You've always been self-conscious because your teeth aren't straight. You didn't wear your retainer after braces or have the means to correct when you were younger. No metal needed here. Correct that smile with Invisalign. Make an appointment today at yourstlouisdentist.com.
Hey, I admit I'm somewhat of a foodie. I'm also really busy and hate making trips to the store.
So I was excited to discover Imperfect Foods. They're an online grocer selling sustainable, affordable groceries, and they deliver them right to my door each week. With hundreds of items and new discoveries each week, you'll find delicious products of all kinds, from the basics to specialty items, like the dark chocolate-covered pretzel pieces. They're a must-have. Sign up today, use the code STL, and get 20% off your first 4 orders, up to $80 in savings. That's code STL at imperfectfoods.com.
Odyssey.com is a universe of audio, and it's where you can download the app to stream 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it today and stream anytime from anywhere. 97.1 FM Talk.
Katie, does this Biden sound, cut 14, does this have the Ronald Reagan intro to it?
It does.
I'm probably the 8th person today on this station to play this, but I can't.
My Coast Guard aides have been excellent.
Listen to that.
One of them taught me that, and I quote, "The Coast Guard is that hard nucleus about which the Navy forms in time of war."
Yeah.
I can only assume that you will enjoy educating your family about how the Coast Guard is, quote, "the hard nucleus around the Navy forms in times of war." You're a really dull class.
I don't think it's the class, Joe. I don't think it's the class.
You're really dull class.
His delivery, though, it's just like if you're gonna cop a joke or a line, you have to deliver it right.
He just botched it.
Like
totally.
It felt without the same sort of context that Reagan gave. He was like, one of you guys told me that this is the case, and everyone's like, yeah, hooah, right? And Biden was like, I guess you'll have fun educating, talking to, your peoples about the thing with the nucleus. Huh?
Who's listening to Joe Biden waiting for him to drop a funny? I'm just waiting for it to be over personally. But when you're listening to him, if you listen to Donald Trump, you would wait for him to deliver a really cutting blow, which half of the people think is funny. That's not even, maybe 30% of the people think is funny. And the other half detest, which is why he did it. If you're listening, Ronald Reagan, if you ever go on YouTube and look at Ronald Reagan and listen to some Ronald, it's just, his nickname is a great communicator. And that velvety voice.
He was so good.
The way he would put things out there, it's just compelling. Barack Obama, put him in that same category, with the other side that was there supporting him. Barack Obama would be able to land. Honestly, I would say he's probably, don't throw things at me. He's probably more in the Trump camp in that delivery, where people would listen to him and wait for him to deliver a zinger or two. But if you're in the camp, you love it. Joe Biden is none of these things. He is not compelling. He's hard to understand. And you can't go steal something, rip something off from Ronald Reagan, deliver it in your Joe Biden way, and expect everybody else to react the same thing. And then, who calls your audience dull?
You guys are real dull.
It's like something Bill Burr would do. Katie, I think in Philadelphia, Bill Burr was in Philadelphia one time. I don't know. Have you ever heard of this story?
I don't think so.
The audience turned on him, and he just decided to go full bore into attacking. I think it was Philadelphia, and you can see it on the internet. It's not for air for sure, but it's kind of how Bill Burr made his name. And now Bill Burr is a very outspoken. You were talking about comedians taking up this mantle of speaking what they speak without any fear. You're going to see Bill Burr, aren't you?
I am. Yep. September.
What's the Bill Burr thing?
Well, a lot of the comedians love Bill Burr because he can talk on his own. His big thing besides his stand-up are his podcasts, and he doesn't need guests. He doesn't need people in there. It's an hour or an hour and a half long rant about all of the things that make him so mad. And that's kind of his shtick, is he's angry and he's angry about things that you're angry about, but you won't vocalize them, but he will.
He says the uncomfortable truths.
He does. And then he gives scenarios and situations where he has said the uncomfortable truths with other people present and their reactions to him. But he's just very bold. He's bold, outspoken. He really does not care what anyone thinks about anything. And so he's gotten a lot of respect in the comedian community because he is someone that goes on his podcast, his Monday morning podcast, for an hour or an hour and a half, and no one's in the room with them. It's just him just going, talking.
For a great example, look up on YouTube his bit about how no doesn't always mean no.
Oh God.
I promise you will enjoy that bit.
Is it weird that the fact that if you were to take him in at first, the arc of him making you very uncomfortable, all of a sudden at the end probably made you more comfortable?
Oh yeah. He does this thing where he hits you in the face with a statement. And then as he explains the statement, as he throws a story on top, as he comedically delivering all the spiel related to that big punch in the face, you realize, oh, he hit me in the face with a rubber hammer. That was okay. I get it. I see what you're saying.
But I think that what comedians are doing, it's just so important. It's so important right now. And Gabe and I off air were talking about how there are many woke comedians that you can watch on Netflix.
You can
watch their stand up.
How can you watch? How can somebody be woke and funny at the same time? I mean, it seems to me like that pairing is absolutely in full opposition to one another.
You hit it on the head. That's the problem.
We were just saying, we're like, it's not a stand-up comedy. It's a lecture. You are there to be lectured about how this person sees the world politically. And if you are not in the same club or the same camp as what they believe in, then you are there to be talked down to, or you're just not there at all. It is only for the people that think the same way.
It's like SNL, really.
It is.
Now.
That's exactly,
yes.
And it's like an SNL TED Talk.
Yeah.
That you're, and I mean,
this is like Guantanamo Bay stuff.
And that's just what I have seen these woke comedians. I have seen their stand up on Netflix, and that is what I have absorbed. I'm like, this isn't even funny. It's just, you're just breathing down my neck what you believe politically, and I have to be on board. If I mean,
good comedy is supposed to bring out the things that make us different, that we think in our heads as human beings, as flawed human beings. Bring the things out that we think in our head and allude to the idea of, you're not the only person who's ever thought that thought. But let's put this out in reality, because, I've talked about this before, but and Gabe, I'm interested in your take on this specifically. The difference between prejudice and racism. To me, this is Annie Fry's understanding of the two things. I think everybody has prejudice. It's you prejudging. It's you taking in an immediate situation and making snap judgments, which is part of who you are as a human. That's how you keep yourself alive when you're like, ooh, there's a tiger. I should get out of here. you don't like get to know the tiger and understand where their positions are and everything.
He's a nice tiger.
Yeah, I mean, stick around and find out. You could totally do it. I wonder if he's hungry. We'll see. But when you are
Hashtag not all tigers.
Tigers' lives matter. When you are in a situation based on your previous experience and the things you're exposed to, you make snap judgments in your mind. The question is, what do you do next after that?
Yeah.
And the truth is that your prejudices are not, you're not the only person who has them. Everybody has prejudice. Everybody has that internalized. Everybody has their own experience. The question is how do you address what you do when that thing happens? And if you can, I definitely believe that we are exposed to prejudices based on gender, age, weight, race, a whole host of things, socioeconomic, regionally placed things. If you come, good grief, what high school are you from? Right? that is a prejudice question in essence, right?
Yeah.
From what I understand, I live in Illinois. I mean, Ryan, I don't experience people asking that question over here. Do you? Like, and specifically in Illinois?
But I mean, being part of the St. Louis culture, usually the question is, where'd you go to high school? And you say Illinois, and it's like, okay, you're
don't
in
know.
Illinois. That's
because they don't know how to judge you based on what high school you went to. That's my point. I mean, if you say you went to this high school or that high school, people think they know something about you, and that's kind of crap. Like, if they're going to decide something about you based on what high school you went to 20 years ago, chances are there's a possibility that maybe your circumstances have changed since then because you've made something of them. But we have these prejudices. We need to talk about these prejudices with each other out loud in the open so that we can understand that that's the first thing that happens, but it should never be the last thing that happens. And the more you talk about it, and the more you realize that it's more common to have prejudice and that talking about it will subsidize some of those snap judgments you might make erroneously because of what you've prejudged with people who are different than you, probably will make you a better person. I don't know, Gabe. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
We'll talk about it on the other side.
Sounds good. Man,
I hear
that
the
sounds
music.
like there's a lot of correction coming my way.
No, you're good.
Tyrus is going to join us when we come back. Plus, we got Kevin Wheeler at 2:25. We got Gabe, Ryan, and Katie in with us on Thursday. Usually a Friday thing, but I'm sticking with my kids tomorrow for their official last day of school. And glad that you're here with us. Join the chat. Participate with us in the live chat on the live stream. You can watch us at facebook.com/Annie Fry Show or the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We would love to hear what you think on these issues. Agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know. Do it respectfully. And let's have a good conversation. Stick around, Tyrus, when we come back.
If you want to destroy my sweater.
Have you noticed lately all the mom and pop home buyers popping up everywhere? They all say the same thing, how they'll buy any house in any condition for cash and close quickly. So who should you trust? How about America's #1 home buyer, Homevestors, also known as the We Buy Ugly Houses people? We've purchased over 95,000 houses, ugly or not, since 1996. We can make you an all-cash offer on the spot for your house that you can count on. Call 800-44-BUYER or go to WeBuyUglyHouses.com. Each franchise office is independently owned and operated.
The new Hyundai Santa Fe is available with a class-exclusive feature called Ultrasonic Rear Occupant Alert. It can help prevent a little one from being accidentally left in the rear seat. It's innovative technology that helps make every family outing safer.
Get 0.9% APR for 60 months or get $1,000 in savings on the 2021 Santa Fe. See your local St. Louis Hyundai dealer today. Offers end June 1st, 2021. Call 224-661-0068 for details.
You're looking for a dentist, you haven't been for a while, or maybe you're just not thrilled with the one you have. Let me promise you, FoleyDentalGroup.com. That's where you can go to find out. Check up on my information that I'm providing you. But Foley Dental Group is waiting for you to make that phone call. They are accepting new patients right now. Foley Dental Group, that's my dentist, Dr. Andrea Foley, Dr. Freeman, Dr. Amon, Dr. Costin, all taking new patients right now. When you reach out to them at 618-288-9670, ask them about when they can fit you in. General dentistry, teeth whitening, fillings, dental implants, whatever you need, they can take care of it. They even do crowns in one day. They are going to make you as comfortable as you can possibly be when visiting the dentist. They have an absolute no judgment policy. If you haven't been for a while, if you haven't had a cleaning in a long time, you don't think you have any problems, but you know that your teeth haven't been cleaned for a while, zero judgment. The staff is so amazing. They are so kind, and they are the best at what they do. Mention the Annie Fry Show when you call to schedule 618-288-9670, online at FoleyDentalGroup.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Never paint again with Rhino Shield. Listen to what a couple of happy customers have to say.
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted. Our building was really faded. You came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
What a wonderful job they did. It's beautiful. They were very thoughtful, kind, considerate guys. Appreciate all the work that these two young men did.
Call Rhino Shield, 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Securing the Capitol. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Less than 5 months after the Capitol breach, the House has passed a bill designed to beef up security. But many lawmakers question whether it makes the right improvements. Fox's Jared Halpern is live on Capitol Hill.
A $1.9 billion Capitol security funding measure cleared the House by a single vote, 213 to 212.
Proudly, it recognizes the sacrifices of the Capitol Police.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi backed the bill that also provides reimbursements for the National Guard deployment and money for retractable fencing around the complex. 3 Democrats voted against the measure. So did every Republican. Many want the legislation to overhaul leadership of the Capitol Police. 3 other Democrats who had signaled opposition voted present and did not sink the bill. Changes to the spending measure are expected when the Senate takes it up. Lisa.
Thanks, Jared. Reports of possible progress toward a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The White House calling that encouraging and confirming that President Biden spoke today with the Egyptian leader. Spokeswoman Jen Psaki also says the administration believes the Israelis have achieved significant military objectives are in a position to start winding down operations. This, a day after the Israeli Prime Minister pushed back on President Biden's call for de-escalation by the end of yesterday. Psaki says the U.S. has had more than 80 engagements now with leaders in Israel, as well as the Palestinian Authority and across the region. The Homeland Security chief announcing that immigration detention facilities in Massachusetts and Georgia will no longer be used because of overcrowding and abuse allegations. Some of those allegations are under DHS and Justice Department investigation. America is listening to Fox News.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-506-6041. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-506-6041 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-506-6041 to see if you qualify. That's 800-506-6041.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty Thursday afternoon, a mix of clouds and sunshine, a touch on the breezy side, and just a tiny little chance of a spot shower. Not concerned about it at all. 85 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, 68. Friday, partly sunny, 85. The weekend, Saturday, partly sunny, 85. And Sunday, partly sunny, 89, 90 for the high on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Come to the enchanted attic. Come to the enchanted attic. Come to the enchanted attic.
Diane, what are you doing?
I'm chanting. Come to the enchanted attic.
But why do you keep saying come to the enchanted attic?
Duh, because it works like magic. Tony, every time I say come to the enchanted attic, people show up at our store.
Well, you can keep chanting if you want to, but I know why people shop at our store.
And I know what you're going to say. It's those healing gemstone mugs you picked out.
Yes.
And our large crystal and stone collection that you picked out.
Yes.
But what about our unique silver and gemstone jewelry?
That you picked out?
Yeah.
Well, it is pretty amazing.
So come to the Enchanted Attic, 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, 636-949-9502. Free gift with every purchase. We love this store.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, professional painting. My favorite thing about CertaPro, you do not have to do the painting. I was hooked several years ago because I did get a free estimate, just like I'm encouraging you to do at CertaPro.com. They came over, it was a kitchen job, that first job inside a house that I used to own in South City. They did the project so efficiently, so effectively. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro.com to get your free estimate today. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting. Check them out today, CertaPro.com.
For the best service after the sale, go to the experts who know your car best, Bomarito. We sell and service every make and model at our state-of-the-art facility, so we have the best factory-certified technician. We'll get you scheduled, repaired, and back on the road fast. Set your appointment on the Bomarito app or at Bomarito.com, and remember, a free wash is on me when you visit. A better experience, a better price. Go with the automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
You can ask your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk and stay connected to everything happening in the world, the country, and the community. It's all through the new Odyssey app, where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Happy Thursday. Very grateful that you decided to spend a little bit of your afternoon here with us. A reminder that you can stream us on the Odyssey app. Take us with you wherever you go, back to the office. We're very happy to have you along for the day. I want to get straight to our guest. Tyrus joins us, as he does each Thursday.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Fox Nation host of Enough Said, Fox News contributor. We see him on Gutfeld. I saw you on with Harris today, I believe it was. Is that correct, Tyrus?
Yes, it was the Tyrus focus. I mean, no, the Faulkner focus.
I'm telling her you said that.
Wishful.
Let me ask you this. I wanted to ask you about Lori Lightfoot in Chicago. She, as you know, I live on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River, right here in the shadow of the St. Louis Arch. But we talk a lot about Illinois issues as well. You've got Lori Lightfoot, who is the mayor of Chicago, saying she's only going to speak to non-white reporters. I would think that having a pre-qualification to participate in something based on your skin color would maybe used to be called racist. However, Mayor Lori Lightfoot suggests that she is doing this because she has a position of, I guess, authority that allows her to try to change the game for people of color. I'm curious what your take is on this issue.
Yeah, it's the latter. This is a joke. This is pathetic. This is what goes against everything that has to do with equality and fighting for one side, have the same rights as the other. Ms. or Mrs. Lightfoot, you wouldn't be in the position, I wouldn't be in the position I was at today. My forefathers and so forth that went through everything. We had to have white people working with us. We had to have white America looking at the history and say, you know what, we need to change things. We need to work with our African American friends and our Mexican American friends and our Asian. White people had a hand in that, and because no one's going to relieve power unless they think there's a better way. So you don't really want equality. You want power. You want the upper hand. And whenever you see a situation where someone says, I'm only going to speak with non-white reporters, one, they don't get it. Two, if Martin Luther King was in the room, he'd be like, you literally missed the point of all this sacrifice. It wasn't so we could have to sit at the table by ourselves. It was to sit at the table together with people of different colors, creeds, all shared equal opportunity to express their views in pursuit of happiness in this country. I would never say ever that I'm only going to speak to a black talk show host. I'm only going to speak to a black reporter, because I'm no better than the guy in the racist white guy goes, well, I only work with white reporters. What's the difference? There's no difference, because we've come this far, but we've also come this far to where she can make a statement like that and everyone goes, oh, I guess it's okay. It's not okay. there were horrible individual white men in this country who did horrible things, and slavery was a horrible thing in this culture. But that's not all white people. That's not most white people. And it's pathetic that we're looking at, if anything, we're seeing overkill on the side of sympathy and support. I mean, it's a point where we're like, hey, you can't be madder than we are. So it's laughable, and frankly, it's embarrassing. And at a point of leadership, she should be better than that.
Yeah.
You know, but she's trying to be woke. And if I was in her voting district, I wouldn't vote for her, because I wouldn't want it, you know, because then why not? The other side opens up. Okay, fine. You know what? White reporters like, we're only going to do stories on white people from now on. You know, oh, that'd be outrageous. There's no difference, and shame on her.
Tyrus, when I heard the story, I think my reaction initially was like you, but I also, part of me goes, you know, is this like the tequila company that comes out and does something outrageous just so people will be seeing the tequila and maybe they'll buy more tequila? Like, is this the political equivalent of a PR stunt? Or do you think she really genuinely believes, no, this is actually a way forward for either me or the office or the country?
You know, unfortunately, doing a stunt for people to buy tequila typically is not going to get people beat up or hurt or lose jobs. So, no, this is exactly who she is. We find that when people get comfortable and when they get the upper hand, the real them shows up. They always say, you know, money, when your friends get money, they change or you'll change. Same thing with power. No, I would never. There is no advisor that could tell me, hey, Tyrus, I got a great idea. This morning on your news brief, I want you to say you're only going to work with people of color. Let Annie Frey show know that you won't do it anymore until they get, until Annie Frey fires herself and replaces herself with a woman of color. I would be like, you're out of your mind. That's stupid, and that defeats the purpose of what we all want, which is equality for everybody. So no, that's one of those things where, yeah, let's do that, you know. And the fact that she thought that was okay, or thought that was smart or woke or whatever. Anytime you exclude groups to make a point, you're no better than, you just become what you claim to hate. But you were really all the same all the time. You just were waiting for the opportunity.
Fox
That's why Farrakhan doesn't work anymore.
That's
Farrakhan doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
He's outdated. He forgot that we started including each other. In my neighborhoods, in my towns, and places I go, I get people all walks of life, all colors come up to me, and never once say, "Oh, excuse me, I'm not taking a picture with an old white woman. I only take pictures with people of color." How long would I be popular on TV?
Yeah, yeah,
And it would be
absolutely right.
my own. Yeah, I wouldn't watch that. I wouldn't support that. So, you know, it's sad that we have to talk about it, but I guess it's good if you're a voter in her who's voting for her in her district, in her area. This is something you should be remembering, because it takes everybody to make this work, not just one group with the advantage.
Yeah, completely. Fox Nation host and Fox News contributor Tyrus joining us right now on Twitter at Planet Tyrus. You can follow him on Instagram as well. You know, we were talking a little bit earlier in the show about the real talkers that exist still, the people who are unafraid to say what they believe and believe what they say. And it seems to me like comedy is where it's kind of like the last bastion of hope for being able to talk about these things. And I know a lot of comedians feel as though they're under pressure. Katie, our producer here, was talking about how, you know, stand-up comedians, she was dabbling and watching some woke comedians. And I asked her, I was like, can you be woke and funny at the same time? And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that, like the issues that we need to be talking about as a community, as a culture. There are tough things that we need to be able to discuss, but cancel culture is so aggressive that they scare an entire side of an issue into even being involved in a conversation or speaking up, where comedy in the past has kind of been the one who's always been willing to scratch that surface and dive deep. How do we get past this, like cancel culture, wokeness, to getting back to a place where we can discuss real issues that are very difficult to talk about without fear of, you know, losing potentially everything?
Well, I think my motto has always been, it's what got me to the dance, speaking my mind, and it's and I'm not gonna change who I am. I run the risk of being canceled every time I take a stand against a woke issue, because they're not real issues. They're first world problems. So how do we beat it? We beat the adults in the room. You know, the companies that cancel somebody or fire somebody because they, didn't apologize fast enough for what they did when they were 13 years old. I think the consumer has to cancel back. Having someone lose their career, but comedians are the biggest target. So, you get attacked, you go away. Dave Chappelle, who I respect and admire a lot, he's in a different situation. He's on Netflix. He's his own producer. He's made enough of a name for himself and has done enough for himself financially where he can produce, run, and his own thing. So you can't really cancel him. Because Ice Cube's another one who runs his own ship. You can't cancel him. So we have to work really hard in having our own good infrastructure to be able to defend ourselves when they go after you, because they want to, when someone goes after you on Twitter and wants you removed or fired, if your company bends to them because of some fictitious dragon that is Twitter, like, oh, we'll boycott your company, these people were never going to go there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So when CEOs start, realizing that dumping celebrities or dumping an athlete or undrafting a hockey player for something he did when he was 14 is laughable and ridiculous. And just like, Bitcoin and stuff like that, it needs to stay in the imaginary world. And you can cancel me from Twitter, but my company shouldn't fire me because of some trolls on Twitter.
Yeah.
So we have to see corporate America stop bending to this stuff. Because honestly, the reason why they do it is it takes the heat off them. Actors are interchangeable. They'll just get another one up there. They'll sacrifice somebody to move on and look like they're doing a good job and go right back to doing what they're doing. So.
Tyrus, there are people who probably look at you, and because we are a people who does prejudge people, they might assume they know what you think about any particular issue just by looking at you. But there are probably also there are also people who hear that you're on Fox News and maybe haven't seen you and probably assume, since you're on Fox News, that you are an entirely different set of issues. Yep. I'm curious how those two things meet in the middle for you personally in life.
Well, for one, my personal life bubble is very small, and most of my friends, just like I don't watch them work, they usually don't watch me work. But every once in a while they'll pop it on there, and they'll watch it, and if they like something, they'll say cool, and if they don't like something, they'll be like, hey, can we talk about it? And I'll be like, nah, I'm off the clock right now. So I budget my personal life and my life all the time. If you've never watched me on Fox News and you have an opinion, I have nothing to say to you. So at least watch it before you judge. And for people who just want to bunch everyone together, I'm a unicorn with zebra stripes, man. I don't stick to anything. I don't like Ted Cruz. I love small government. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no qualms. I question things. I support things based on how I feel about them. I call it the grown-ass man approach. So I don't really worry about it too much. And you're always going to have criticism. And I always tell everybody, I always say, act like you play on the road. They're going to boo you. That means you're doing something. We need to toughen up our skin a little bit because everyone's a critic. Everyone's a genius. And don't get it twisted. Everybody wants your spot. They can say Annie Frey doesn't do this. She doesn't do this. But they don't have the job. You earned it. You got it. So I like the boos as much as I love the cheers.
Honestly, I was going to ask you that, Tyrus, because it's you seem like the kind of guy, kind of a personal question, I guess, but you seem like a kind of guy who would actually enjoy when somebody comes with a certain set of prejudices and then you kind of blow them out of the water.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I love being booed. I love, and I even when I pick on Greg sometimes in the show, somebody booed and I said, I know what you cheer for. Your booing builds my self-esteem. So, you just can't, you throw it back at them. You can't be afraid. If I'm supposed to not lose my job at Fox or lose opportunities on TV because of some woke group on Twitter, then I'll just have to reinvent myself. But I won't change who I am, and I'm not going to just go with the flow. And I think no one should, We all have a right to our opinions, and we don't need to hurt anybody. And certainly if you don't agree with me, I don't want you canceled. Geraldo Rivera this morning was getting attacked on Twitter, and they're like, he needs to go to CNN and like all these kind of comments. I'm like, the fact that we have his difference of opinion, we should relish it.
Yeah.
You're looking at this wrong.
And good on Fox for hosting different opinions.
Yeah, that's the whole point. But they want to try to narrow it down. Juan Williams. I love Juan. Don't always agree with him, but I love him to death. I think he's one of the greatest old school journalists of all time. He's got one of the best documentaries out there between Dick Cavett and Muhammad Ali. But, Geraldo Rivera, man, I want to know what was in Jimmy Hoffa's locker just because I don't agree with him politically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I do. I
silly.
appreciate
It's
it.
silly. It's silly. And they should get more mic time. Disagreements is fine. Because that's what leads to a good, I know this sounds crazy, but a good conversation, and you might learn something from each other. But telling somebody they're stupid because they don't agree with you, you're actually stupid and you can't learn. So I would prefer not to talk to you than I would talking to someone with a difference of opinion.
Tyrus, it's always great to have you here. That's why we like having you here, because I never know exactly where you're going to come down on an issue. We got to actually talk about it first. And I think that's
the only thing
rare.
You just watch is my Bruins, my Red Sox, my Celtics.
You want to talk about those Red Sox? They're not doing too bad right now.
It's too early. It's too early.
Oh, you were skeptical. I see. A true Red Sox fan. We'll talk to you again next week, Tyrus. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys. Always a pleasure.
All right, bye-bye. At Planet Tyrus on Twitter. Also find him on Instagram. He's got great stuff on both of those social networks. Let's take a quick break. Gabe's in studio with us along with Ryan and Katie. We'll talk about it some more. A reminder when we come back about the baby pool. I still have a baby in my tummy. Would like for it to come out sometime soon. 36 weeks today. You can enter the baby pool by going to 971talk.com/contest. Katie will give us some more details on that when we return, and we'll keep the conversation flowing. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Rock and I got my fences. I never let them down.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
I keep my senses.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Tune in to Right at Home with Rich every Saturday from noon to 1 p.m. This Mosby Building Arts Home Show covers topics ranging from design and architecture to remodeling and home maintenance. For answers to all of your home questions, don't miss Right at Home with Rich, brought to you by Mosby Building Arts.
Lakeside Renovation and Design is known for transforming your house, your home, the place in your house that is not quite working for you the way you want it to. Make it your favorite place in your home. Think about that transformation. Think about the square footage. When you go to buy a house, you're looking at square footage. You have all these dreams. You buy the house, and then those dreams get put on hold for a while. Make those dreams come true with Lakeside Renovation and Design. If you know what you want the function of a specific room or an area or a basement or maybe the layout of your master, if you know what the function is that you want, but you're not really sure how to make it the most aesthetically pleasing or the thing that you're going to love, that's the design part of Lakeside Renovation and Design. These people are artists with what they can do with your house. They are known in St. Louis as being the very best. They have a lifetime workmanship warranty on top of the manufacturer's warranty, and the very best folks in the business coming into your home to give you that guarantee. 636-978-5000, 636-978-5000, lakesidерenovationanddesign.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet. And if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic. And ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. So they protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees. If you leave in the first 30 days, ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage has just broken the mold once again. The bagel loan has gotten even better. If you are in the market to purchase a new home, you need to be the most competitive buyer that is out there. It's going to save you money in the long run. And Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage and the bagel loan has exactly what you need. New home loans at $200,000 or more. Absolutely no closing costs. Now, the bagel loan used to be just about no lender fees. He has added in no closing costs on top of that. You cannot beat this deal anywhere else. And he told me he's doing closings in as quickly as 2 weeks. Reach out to Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage today to secure this opportunity for you. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. 314-440-4440. Rates are still ridiculously low. Be the most competitive buyer that you can be with Stewart's American Mortgage. You can call them at 314-324-4440. Find them online at stewartsamc.com and MLS number 226715. The Retirement Advisory Group, headed up by Thomas Helbig, one of the nicest guys in the St. Louis area, who is just whip smart at making sure that your retirement is going to be protected. He knows how hard you've worked for it. Heck, he's working really hard himself. For 35 years, Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group has been helping folks just like you get ready to leave a job, to leave the career, the work environment, and live off the retirement that you've built for yourself. But you want to know that it's safe, right? Get a free consultation with Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. He gives you a copy of a second edition of his book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement, that helps you cover all the things that he would normally cover in a seminar. Thomas Helbig boasts that he's never had a client lose a penny. It's really hard to turn down a free consultation with somebody who can give you that kind of a guarantee. 314-993-9494. Call my friend Thomas Helbig and get your retirement protected today. Visit online at retirementkey.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, healthcare, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
The latest local forecast and severe weather coverage you can count on from the name in St. Louis weather.
This is 97.1's Chief Meteorologist, Dave Murray.
On 97.1 FM Talk, powered by Air Comfort Service.
There's a long black train coming down the line, feeding off the souls that are lost and crying. Rails of sin, only evil remains. Watch out, brother, for that long black train.
So I'm looking at our sound sheet today, and cut 3 is from Kudlow, but I keep thinking it's Lisa Kudrow. And I'm like, what did she say? And then it's Larry Kudlow, and I'm like, that's not. Even if you had the like solution to the response to what is actually going on with UFOs, I'm just less interested because it's not Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Chandler? What's his name?
Chandler
Matthew
Bing.
Perry.
Yeah.
Matthew Perry. No. What?
Did you see him on Twitter in this Friends reunion thing? Katie, did you see?
I only
What,
saw
did he
that
come out
there's
as non-binary too?
No.
No, literally. That's what I think every time I hear of a celebrity name that I haven't heard in a while.
He was part of this Friends reunion, and he was slurring his speech in a really, really bad way. He's known for facing addiction, especially during the shooting of Friends. Going through some really rough times. I'm kind of interested in watching how people react to this, because it is definitely a big story. I mean, and I watched it because I had seen enough tweets about it that I thought I kind of want to see if this was overdone or whatever. And he was slurring his speech. I think it's really sad. And my question is, how does nobody stop that from getting to air? Was it a situation? Do you think it's a situation where people know that that's going to be the big talked about thing? It's going to make the interview more widely spread. I mean, it's sad to me that if he is having a relapse with some sort of addiction, I don't know if they've come out today yet and said that there's an explanation to it. But seeing him slurring his speech and knowing that he has fought addiction and beaten addiction and potentially could be in a situation to relapse. I just kind of think it's sad.
Yeah.
Was it a talk show that he was on, or what?
I have some of the information right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Matthew Perry slurred his words and had a 1,000-yard stare in a video to promote the much-anticipated Friends reunion, leaving fans worried about his well-being. This is from Page 6. A clip showing the 51-year-old actor with an odd gaze and labored speech pattern was posted to People magazine's website and YouTube on Wednesday to promote the HBO Max special, which was shot in April and will be airing May 27th. Perry appeared with his former co-stars. And as they talked about what was going on and like how it is to get back together and what shooting was like, they noticed that he was sounding very, like he was slurring all of his words and he was just looking off to the camera. So I think what everybody was seeing was a promo. I question why they put that as the promo. I kind of like what you're saying, Annie, and coming from a producer standpoint, like part of my job here is to never allow the show to look bad and to always have Annie's back.
I'm sorry.
You would never let that happen, nor would Ryan. Nobody would let that happen ever.
Yeah.
But if I'm the person that's making the promo to show people a clip of the show every single day, which I do for the show,
best foot forward.
You have to highlight and make sure that it's intriguing and fun and everything can be condensed into a small little platform so that it's ear candy for people and that you're representing the show in the absolute best light because you only have 15 seconds. So whenever I look at a clip like this and I see it, Matthew Perry in the promotional video talking about the reunion for Friends, I just question what's the motivation? Is it, or do they know that this is going to be a flop? So they put that out and they sacrificed Matthew Perry and said, this is what it's going to be about. Or are they just genuine? Like, is it going to be concern about him? I question that intention so much.
I look too at the people who he's with. Like if I'm, Matt LeBlanc or I want to call them all by their friends' names. If I'm David Schwimmer and I'm sitting there next to him and I notice that I'm stepping in, I'm stopping it from continuing because that's what a good friend, again, no pun intended, would actually do is end it right there. Like if you're in a situation where you see a coworker and they are not putting their best foot forward, you're going to step in and keep them from making it a bigger deal. But I don't know. I mean, it was sad for me to see that. I like Matthew Perry. I want him to have success. I love the show Friends. I think it is crazy, especially when you go back and look at, how 90s Friends looks. If it was the hippest, coolest thing at the time, trend setting in every possible way. And, that one word, capital P, problematic. There are a lot of things that are now in 2021 deemed problematic from a show that was too progressive for me as a young person. I was in like intermediate school, I guess, when it first started. What year did it first start?
Gosh,
early 90s
or something.
96?
It wasn't something that as a fourth, fifth, sixth grader that I was really needing to watch. And now you go back on it and it becomes problematic.
I think there would be complete characters that would be taking out. Like essentially Joey, for the people that watched Friends.
Oh, he's problematic.
He is like
he's a womanizer.
A womanizer. He is like alpha male, masculine. I think he'd be classified probably this day and age as toxic masculinity
or a predator
or
something
like that. I feel like the characters, there's some characters on that show, but that's just, that was 1990s and we have come so far and we have classified things so differently than we did then as we do now. And it's just, I feel like that show would be I don't like reboots in the first place. Get new material. Don't reboot something.
I watch a lot of things that just pop up as suggestions on YouTube, things that I would never seek out. And I just watch them, and I watched some like long form clips of All in the Family, which I remember All in the Family coming on when I was a kid. Was it when I was a kid? I don't know. I remember All in the Family coming on. I remember the show. This is funny, just to show the date and time of when this was made or how it was made. I remember the show felt too like beige and brown for me. Like there wasn't enough comparatively speaking to Friends, which like had purple walls and it was just aesthetically pleasing. All in the Family was just so, I guess, 70s looking that it was so awful. But listening to the conversations that they were having on All in the Family and going, like I'm sitting in my own living room going, gosh, I hope nobody sees me watching this. But I mean, it's out there and it exists. Was All in the Family necessary for us to get from where we were to where we are now? Because you want to talk about discussing difficult issues out in the open, especially from what at that time was the far left and the far right of any particular opinion on an issue. All in the Family was pretty progressive in their aggressiveness to discuss these things.
Oh yeah, pretty much, and it kind of defined the 70s. It ran from, according to IMDb, 71 to 79. So
I didn't watch it when I was a kid.
You watch reruns, yes.
Channel 11 probably.
I think I watched a lot of these things in reruns as well. But and don't forget though that George Jefferson was introduced, I think, on this show, and his show, which started in 75 and went to 85, kind of defined the other side of things in many ways. It was George Jefferson was basically the black no, I'm forgetting his name, Archie Bunker, is that right? Yes, he's the black Archie Bunker. And so there were a lot of discussions going on in TV in the past that I think we've lost that art, I think, in many ways. I've actually recently been watching an old show called The Rifleman. It's in black and white. It was produced in the 50s. It's a Western.
We going way back.
We going way back, way back.
We going.
All the people listening right now who are also from the 50s.
Yeah,
saying,
sorry.
Wow,
like,
thanks.
Yeah, there are people who listening who are like, I saw that when it
The
premiered.
50s. Oh, that's like Civil War time. What did you do without electricity?
Right. But yeah, I mean, it was about a single dad and his son in the Old West. And they tackled a lot. Like, I'm surprised at how many social issues they tackled and how they dealt with those. And it's just very, very interesting. It's like, we've been talking about this stuff for a long time, guys. You know, it's been in pop culture for a long time, all of our social interactions and everything like that. And I think for good reason, because kind of like you were saying before the break, before we talked to Tyrus, Annie, prejudice is kind of built into the way our brains work. We have prejudice. Our brains are prejudice machines because we have to categorize things, or else you can never anticipate anything, right? Your brain, you can only have so much information top of mind. Mm-hmm. So you have to file things away into categories so you can know what to anticipate coming up. Okay, this color snake is poisonous. This color snake is not, and you have to.
Why's it got to be about color, Gabe?
And exactly, but you have a split second.
Snake profiling.
You know, in that case, yes, exactly.
I hope.
But in that case, you have a split second to make a decision about how you're going to respond, and it's life or death. Like, that's why our brains are the way they are, right? So we do that. We categorize things, and it's built largely on experience. Sometimes being taught things. So the way we need to deal with that, though, is that you allow the judgment, basically the judging machine, to do what it does in here in your brain. But when you interact with people, when you actually interact with the environment, you have to leave room for those prejudices to be dispelled. Mm-hmm. And that's really the difference between, a society that lives in the prejudicial realm. That's basically the bigoted, systemically problematic societies, or be open, or be ready to change your mind. Mm-hmm. And those are the liberal, for lack of a better term, societies that can interact with different people.
Mm-hmm. The only way that you are ever going to be able to intellectually challenge the things that your mind assumes, which are those prejudices,
mm-hmm.
is to have somebody who you can talk to about those,
mm-hmm.
who's willing to listen to those things that you assume and know that you're talking about it because you want more information to give you a well-rounded, not snap judgment opinion. You have to be able to discuss these types of issues. One of the reasons why family is so important, the family unit is so important in my household, why the religious unit that we're in, Christians, I'm Lutheran, and that's the unit that I exist in religiously, that matters to us. There's a lot of different things that we associate ourselves with, but that family unit is the safest place when it is intact, or when whatever version of a non-traditional family you live in, there builds trust so that somebody in your family can come up and say something to you, communicate a concern to you or a fear, which is always because of an unknown quantity, to be able to have somebody who you can trust to go up and say, this is something I'm thinking, or this is something I'm feeling, and lean on somebody else's experience to process that out, so that your assumptions, which will naturally lead you to fear because you're making assumptions based on things that you don't know. That's why you have to assume. That has to exist. And the world we live in today, the media environment that we live in today, it is actively working against all of that, because they want to tell you, you don't even need to worry about assuming. We've got everything you need to think right here. Just close your mouth, open your ears, and listen. And that's the opposite.
Yeah.
At least should be the opposite of what we do here in this country. All right, a little real or fake when we come back. You guys up for it?
Let's do it.
Let's come up with some really bold, aggressive opinions on really important or completely unimportant things. We'll do that when we come back. Join us in the live stream on Facebook or YouTube, streaming at odyssey.com, and always right here on 97.1 FM Talk. We'll be right back.
Watch out, brother, for that long black train.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
To the heavens, you can look to the sky.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Back into your eyes.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality water heater and AeroSeal duct seal services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com. Michael's Flooring Outlet has 3 locations in St. Louis that you can visit, and they do work on both sides of the river. So if you're in Missouri, if you're in Illinois, either way, you have the advantage of shopping for your flooring needs at Michael's Flooring Outlet. Reach out to them today and see what they can do for you, because they have an amazing selection of flooring. They have in-stock flooring that you can check out on their website at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com. When you go to Michael's Flooring Outlet's website, you're going to quickly see how they can service you with the best quality products that you can get. You can get most of these products in other stores, but you can't get them with the value and with the customer service that comes with making a purchase at Michael's Flooring Outlet. You can reach out to them at their locations in St. Charles County, in West County, also in Darting Prairie, but you can go online right now to igotfloored.com and see all of the beautiful selections, schedule a next day install with the products that they have in stock. igotfloored.com.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk, and in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcast on radio.com. That's radio.com, and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Jewels on Hampton and St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler featuring Alvanza's jewel art designs with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, coins, flatware, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks and sports memorabilia and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa, and jewelsonhampton.com. Call them at 314-752-5000, 314-752-5000, and jewelsonhampton.com. Jewels on Hampton.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res Carpet Cleaning. I have another great offer for you this month. But first, let's talk about why Zero Res is so perfect for your home. They've been lab tested, proven to clean at the highest levels possible. No other cleaning method outcleans Zero Res. So there really is only one way to get all the gunk out of your home, and that's by calling my friends at Zero Res. They have a platinum-ready cleaning system and patented Zero Res water that's going to extract all the nasty out of your home, so it's going to look and smell like a home should. With the Gotta Love It guarantee, you know you're going to be taken great care of. Check out the 3 3,000 plus raving customer reviews online with a 4.9 Google rating to see what all the excitement and the hype is all about. And right now, ask for the Mark Reardon special with Zero Res. You can take $50 off the air duct cleaning or 3 rooms starting at just $129, and that's a savings of $20. You can do both. Also, call Zero Res 474-2020. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com. Don't forget to ask for the Mark Reardon KFTK special 314-474-2020. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
David Rubin.
President Trump cut off aid to the Palestinian Authority because they were paying monthly salaries to the terrorists. Joe Biden came in. He restored financial aid unconditionally.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
We're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
Dig.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for spending some time with us. Real quick, Katie, before we get to real or fake, do you want to tell us about the baby pool?
Sure. 971talk.com/contests. You will see the Annie Fry baby pool that's up. It's the first thing that's on that contest page. Go ahead and make your predictions for baby number 4. We want the length, weight, date, I almost said it again, date and time of baby girl number 4. Make your predictions. We just need your first and last name, your email address, and if you win, you get to pick a little sampler package from New Seasons Spa and Salon. You get to pick 3 awesome choices. They're listed right there on that contest page. Make those predictions. Let's go. We want this baby happening ASAP.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I only have one question.
Uh-huh.
Why do we not have salt and pepper right now underneath you're talking about this? Ooh, baby. Baby.
I don't know why we don't.
971talk.com/contest. Groove is in the heart, baby.
That's right.
Close it up.
Next time it'll be just for you, Gabe.
And then push it.
Yeah, exactly.
It writes itself, folks. Come on.
I'll tell you, you do push it. That's not woke. Not every woman has their baby by pushing. So you don't want to do that.
Good point.
The Annie Fry Show Facebook page here has we need 117 people to go like the Annie Fry Show Facebook page to get over 15,000, which would just tickle me pink. I think when we started, I've been doing this show for just a hair over 3 years now. I think I had like 800 people maybe, and I was real proud of those 800 people on my Saturday show. If you haven't liked the page yet, go check out the Annie Fry Show Facebook page, and the baby pool is posted right there at the top. So, and like the page while you're there, please. Just 117 of you, maybe even 118. So then I can now promote over 15,000 people. Just need one. All right, Katie, let's get to it. Real or fake? What do we got here? Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
Knock it out of the park.
So yesterday we did this experiment about if you were a dictator, the 3 things that you would ban. I added something onto my list, and I'm putting it to the real or fake right now.
You're the dictator. Do what you want.
News outlets should not be allowed to play traumatizing videos unless the purpose is to help us find a criminal. I thought about this because there was a video played on loop basically yesterday at Fox News that has shaken me to the core and that I can't stop thinking about, that has traumatized me. And it was totally unnecessary to play the video because the person was already caught and apprehended. And I saw it and I was exposed.
Which video? Because I can think of several right now that are bothering me.
It was a kidnapping.
It was a kidnapping.
Of the 4-year-old?
Of the 4-year-old.
I'm gonna tell you what, that messes me up. And I've seen the screenshot of it.
That's
and
enough.
I'm like wanting to arm every room in my house.
Annie, I am not joking. I sent a text message to David today. I am not joking, at 9:00 this morning. And I said, you better have every single door locked and you better have one ear off of your headphones today listening, because I am not having someone come in this house and steal my puppy or my husband. I'm not doing it. Like it has shaken me.
I
to
hear
my
that.
core.
That is completely real. And I think there's a difference between the videos being accessible and the videos being played on loop on television.
Yeah.
If there's a way that you can seek out that kind of information. I question the most recent shooting in California, last name Johnson, I think. I don't want to get that wrong. We haven't talked about it much on this show, but just there are so many videos that are played. I remember talking about it in media ethics. Yes, I took a college class called media ethics, and that went well. I remember, talking about what you should and shouldn't do, ethically speaking. Just because you have the right to do it doesn't mean you should ethically do it. And boy, I think that taking that class in 2004, 2005 was a different world that we live in now.
Mm-hmm.
I will disagree, Katie, just because I think there are a lot of reasons to not air clips, and no station usually ever airs on the side of, like
not
throttling themselves. They almost always are going to air it if they have it. But I think there are a lot of reasons you can air something like that other than to try to find a criminal. Like, if there's a warning in it, like, hey, this is happening, or not that we want to spread fear, but even with that video, if it's just a reminder to somebody, hey, lock your doors at night, I don't think that necessarily is a bad thing.
On loop?
I'm going
over and over and over again everywhere. And
no,
that story, the headline alone makes me go buy another gun.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going real news just because of that. Basically, it's like I got the point when I saw the clip. I got the point. Some dude stole a kid and bad things. It's like whoa.
I just need to read the story, and the story is if I read it, I would have been like, but I saw it.
Terrific enough.
I saw it.
I'm with you, Katie.
And over everywhere you look.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe, what do you got?
There's no such thing as the right to a living wage. Now,
real.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Wait. Time out. We got to address something here real quick. Tom on Facebook says, I noticed Katie mentioned her puppy before David.
No, it's David. It's David. Obviously, always first.
It starts with likelihood of abduction first,
right?
Yeah, the puppy doesn't have concealed carry.
Yeah, that's true. You can't operate a gun.
Or opposable thumbs.
Although David's jaw isn't as powerful.
I was just gonna say, who's more likely to bite? You never know.
I will always rescue my husband first.
I'll bite you.
Gabe Michael says, "Amen, Gabe." So Michael is there with you.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. In free markets, and free markets work best, and we've seen this proven over and over. We make agreements with between people as to how much labor I'm going to give and how much compensation I'm going to receive.
Yeah, what are you willing to do?
And that's up to you. And and your decision to do so or walk away is on you, and you can be held to it. So yeah, if I got a job that includes a living wage, I am a good negotiator.
Gotcha.
And I got the skills to pay the bills. Right?
Amy on YouTube says, "Real news, Gabe." What do you think, Ryan?
Completely real. It's that word that you use,
the right
living wage,
and living wage.
These words that the left uses, and they're so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Living wage, man, it paints a picture for you. It's like the use of the word fair. We have to have a fair tax. Well, if it's unfair, well, I'm all for a fair tax then. Like these things are amazing the way they do that. But calling them out, I'm glad. And I think real news.
Katie, what do you think?
I think real news too. I needed a little bit of explanation of what you meant, but I definitely think that that's real news. I mean, we're seeing it right now. Right now, people are like, I don't want to go back to work, and the company's like, I'll give you $15 an hour if you come back to work, and they're like,
nah.
Nope, not good enough. That's not a living wage. It's crazy. Yeah.
Well,
Another Michael on Facebook says, fast food is to teach you how to integrate into the workforce and to give you a desire to work harder for a higher paying job. Amy on YouTube says, skills to pay the bills.
Amen.
Yep. Ryan, you got one?
I do. Trump should have pardoned Edward Snowden.
Ooh. Wow.
Fake news.
This is the second time you brought up Edward Snowden
Yeah,
this week,
I know.
Ryan.
Wow.
Well, that's when I thought of it, was when I said the other.
Nice.
Maybe make a deal
We've
with
got
him.
30 seconds to
Oh, God.
solve the Edward Snowden.
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. It's like, oh my God.
I say real news. I mean, I don't think there's any harm in pardoning Edward Snowden.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to see exactly what he did to get his information. Like, I only know so much about it. Like, I know there was classified information. He got it. He distributed it. And yes, that's like, I know I would go to prison for doing things like that. I have a security clearance, and yeah, that would be a bad thing. And you don't want to encourage it by, sweeping things under the rug. But at the same time,
It was information
there's some shady business that got exposed as well. So it's kind of like it's the whistleblower thing, right?
I think that the Edward Snowden thing is way more deep, and I think that the intrigue that surrounds it is probably more interesting to a lot of people than the actual details around it. I base it on people who I have watched react to it that I trust, that still say what he did is a threat to the country, and I have a problem with that. And I think that the problem that exists with what Edward Snowden did and what he knows, that the actual conflict is more in our I don't think Edward Snowden is a hero. That's kind of what I'm trying to say, and I don't think that pardoning him is the right way to go. So my personal opinion, I don't care about Edward Snowden. I also don't really care right now about Donald Trump. I am very grateful for what he did for the 4 years he was president. If he runs against Joe Biden, can't wait to vote for him again. But my real or fake is the only thing keeping Trump relevant right now in our conversation in May of 2021 is Democrats. Why are you obsessed with him? Oh my goodness gracious. Every time I'm on the chat or we have people call in here to challenge things, we're talking about issues, we're talking about real things that are happening. And it is the first thing that people who want to challenge me on a policy bring up is something about Trump. And I'm like, what is Trump doing today? I don't even know. I don't know and I don't care. We'll wait until the time comes and we'll make a decision there. The leader of the Republican Party does not make a difference to me right now. The people should be the leaders of the Republican Party.
Real news. I'm with you.
Real news.
I'm with you because I think basically the media is missing that sweet Trump advertising money they were getting from all the ratings.
But what about the everyday Democrats? I mean, I have a dear lifelong friend who is a Democrat who just loves to stir the pot with me. He sometimes listens to the show and texts me things, and we'll be talking about something and he'll be like, "But what about Trump?" And I'm like, What about him? I don't even know. You're the one who is obsessed with him.
Insert non sequitur.
I don't get it, man. He definitely is living rent free in the heads of Democrats today. All right, quick break. When we come back, Ask Me Anything and Kevin Wheeler. Big news in the NHL. We'll be right back.
These days, nearly every small business owner is looking for ways to cut costs. And that's where Spectrum Business comes in. They have the best business internet and phone available at prices that are up to half off what you're paying now. That's right. You can cut costs for your business and get faster internet. Just what small businesses need right now. Call 833-919-2129 and get all the value with none of the nonsense. That's Spectrum Business. 833-919-2129.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% of hospital admissions in older adults are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero Health simplifies medication management. The smart device stores up to 90 days worth of up to 10 different pills. It dispenses them at the push of a button. Try Hero risk-free for 30 days and get free contactless delivery. Just call 800-420-7550. That's 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. Hero, medication managed.
What's holding you back from solving your tax problems? If it's cost, know that the longer you wait, the more expensive it'll be. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Tax resolution doesn't have to be expensive, and waiting year after year to resolve your tax problems can be extremely costly. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. So take the first step now and hire a tax resolution attorney to help you. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee which includes costs and expenses that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. But the longer you wait, the more interest and penalties you'll pay. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You've heard it before, and it's true. The easiest way to freshen up the look in your home or your business is with a new coat of paint. It's Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, and with CertaPro, it's even better. You don't have to do the work yourself. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. These are local painting crews in our area. They do business and residential, whether you need interior or exterior work. You can trust CertaPro to deliver top-notch results every time. That's why I've hired them time and time again. Your free estimate is just a couple of clicks away at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Not so quiet diplomacy. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden speaking with the Egyptian leader today about a possible ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
Our approach here and our strategic approach here is to continue to communicate directly, stay closely interlocked with the Israelis, with partners on the ground, to do everything we can to bring an end to the conflict.
Spokeswoman Jen Psaki says the U.S. has had dozens of engagements with leaders in the region. At this point, though, the fighting continues. The House approving nearly $2 billion to boost Capitol security, but it passed by just one vote. Now heading to the Senate, along with a bill to create an independent commission to probe the Capitol riot. The Department of Homeland Security plans to ramp up social media tracking, part of enhanced focus on domestic violent extremism. But they're also acknowledging civil liberty concerns and insist the focus will be on deterring crime, not policing speech. Day 2 of testimony over the murder of a college student in Iowa. Fox's Jeff Manasso has this live.
Lisa, prosecutors in the trial of Mexican national Christian Rivera say it was video surveillance cameras at a home in Brooklyn, Iowa, that first caught what appeared to be a jogger in 2018, believed to be then missing 20-year-old Molly Tibbetts. The cameras then caught something else.
From the time the runner went through until 8:07, there was 14 vehicles seen on those cameras. 6 of those were the Malibu.
The car that Iowa DCI Special Agent Derek Reason told jurors pointed to Rivera, who were then told later led investigators to a cornfield and the body of Tibbetts. Rivera has pled not guilty to first-degree murder. The trial moved to Davenport is expected to last into next week. Lisa.
The defense has tried to point to Tibbetts' former boyfriend. Michigan's governor just announcing outdoor capacity limits will be lifted June 1st, indoor July 1st. America's listening to Fox News.
If you have an unpaid debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-506-6041. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-506-6041. 800-506-6041. That's 800-506-6041.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty Thursday afternoon, a mix of clouds and sunshine, a touch on the breezy side, and just a tiny little chance of a spot shower. Not concerned about it at all. 85 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, 68. Friday, partly sunny, 85. The weekend, Saturday, partly sunny, 85. And Sunday, partly sunny, 89, 90 for the high on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Presented by Indeed. Indeed has this hiring tool called Instant Match, and it really lives up to its name. Just post a sponsored job, and Indeed instantly searches millions of resumes in their database to immediately deliver the candidates that fit your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, it's Michael Mohan with Community Mortgage. Interest rates are still at historic lows. If you have not taken advantage of today's low rates, what are you waiting for? Whether your goal this year is to refinance to a shorter term, cash out to pay off debt, or maybe remodel your home, maybe purchase your first or even your fifth home, our low rates will save you money. I'm here in St. Louis and want to put my local market experience to work for you. Whether purchasing or refinancing, My goal is to help you save money on your home loan. And when you call, don't be surprised when I answer the phone. Call me today, Michael Mohan, 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224143, NMLS 250353.
This past year has been difficult for so many Americans. The uncertainty of the economy lingers under this new administration, especially with all the spending and job cuts. We know the people are interested more than ever in securing their nest egg for their retirement. I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group, and for 35 years, we've been helping retirees and pre-retirees understand their options when they leave a job or retire. We'll teach you how to secure your nest egg and provide an income that will last through your retirement and still leave a legacy for your heirs. Call me now, 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. We'll design your own personalized, structured income plan so you know exactly how much income you can count on and also how long your money will last. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. This book covers everything I teach in my live educational events. Call me now, 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
At Coleman's Campers, we are proud to provide you with the best value for your hard-earned dollar. Whether you're shopping for your first camper or your next camper, we have options to fit your taste and budget. Come in today and start making memories tomorrow. Coleman's Campers in Hartford, Illinois, where customers become friends.
Playoff basketball is here, and before you bet on any of the postseason games, you need to check out BetQL. BetQL analyzes every game to help you make the smartest possible bets. Sometimes the spread is off by a few points, or the total is way too high or low. BetQL finds those opportunities so you can take advantage and cash in. Ready to win more consistently? Visit BetQL.com and use promo code PLAYOFFS for 20% off. That's 20% off with promo code PLAYOFFS at BetQL.com.
Radio.com is now Odyssey. Download the Odyssey app to listen to 97.1 FM Talk and find content that moves you. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk on the go. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being here. We appreciate some time that we get to spend with you this afternoon on 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to the Annie Fry Show, and you can find us anywhere in social media land that you prefer to connect. Happy to have that connection with you. We do something on Fridays normally that we've moved to Thursday because tomorrow I am going to be mom for the day, and I'm going to spend the last day of school with my kiddos. Looking forward to celebrating that with them. That's like a fun day. It's the one. Everybody in my house goes to school. My husband's a teacher. My kids obviously go to school, and they're like, "What, Mom? You got to work during the summer? Like, why aren't you off?" Well, it's because that's what people do. Lucky teachers and students. I'm going to make some teachers mad by saying that. I apologize. That wasn't my intention. But seriously, think about it.
Yeah.
So spending some time with my kiddos tomorrow. So we're moving a few features, including our guest here that we have every Friday, Gabe Phifer, who's in with us. Hi, Gabe.
Hi.
Gabe is St. John the Philosopher on YouTube. And Katie, I don't know if you picked up his last, is that the last video you've done? The one about the call that we had here?
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing. I think my son watched it with me because we were, as I said, I'm watching random things from Archie Bunker to Gabe, St. John the Philosopher on YouTube, whatever gets suggested to me. And it was just so well done. I honestly thought Tucker Carlson needs to see this. Gabe needs to be on Tucker's show. So I'm going to send that link to Katie because I would love to blog that and show people your long form thoughts on the call that we had a couple weeks ago with you and someone who challenged you. We're talking about race issues. So I want to encourage you to check out Gabe on YouTube as well. One of the things we do each Friday is Ask Me Anything. So we're going to move it to today because it's fun.
If you have anything to ask me, just go ahead.
I want the truth.
Say it. Thank you for your honesty.
You can't handle the truth. And the truth shall set you free.
So I'm going to take the first one here and read from Fox News. CNN admits Chris Cuomo inappropriately provided brother advice on sexual harassment scandal. Here's the question, and I don't know if this is kind of new news. CNN admitted that this week that liberal host Chris Cuomo participated in strategy sessions for his brother, Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's a Democrat, obviously, on how to handle the sexual harassment allegations made against him, calling their star anchor's involvement, quote, inappropriate. CNN acknowledged Chris Cuomo's involvement to Fox News, but said he'd not be disciplined for his contact. Quote, Chris has not been involved in CNN's extensive coverage of the allegations against Governor Cuomo on air or behind the scenes, in part because, as he has said on his show, he can never be objective, but also because he often serves as a sounding board for his brother. However, it was inappropriate to engage in conversations that include members of the governor's staff, which Chris acknowledges he will not participate in such conversations going forward. My question to you, and you know, I'm here to tell you 100 times over, before I am a Republican, a conservative, you know, a Cardinals fan, a Disney fan, whatever it is I am a Christian, I am a wife, and I am a mama. And those things are very important to me. My faith and my family are the most important things to me. I'm curious if you guys think, forget about what you think about Governor Cuomo, Chris and Andrew Cuomo together, their politics. Are you okay with Chris Cuomo being involved in advising his brother, who is the governor of New York, on sexual harassment scandals?
No. I think the problem is that, you know, it's basically the same issue you would have as a judge and your brother's, you know, got charges against him, right? You know, and he's coming into a courtroom in your jurisdiction. You recuse yourself because of the conflict of interest. I think, you know, Cuomo should have been recusing himself from reporting on his brother the entire freaking time, but he was giving these lavish...
He did when it got
when it got uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, when it was the lavish bubble gum and
worshiping
lollipops,
for his COVID
you know, coverage
response.
here. Yeah, you know, he was basically the cherry on top of his media Sunday, you know, all the time. So, gosh, no, it makes me so uncomfortable how in bed the media is with the Democrat establishment, and it's just an example of it.
I think it's incredibly irresponsible. I don't think anyone that listens to this station or maybe the show gives Chris Cuomo any credit anyway, but I think that like you lose so much of your credibility as someone that is supposed to be an arbiter of truth in this society whenever you're giving advice to someone that's being investigated because there's multiple women saying you sexually harassed them or did whatever, or you made, you know, very uncomfortable situations happen between them. I just think it's incredibly irresponsible. And if I were Chris Cuomo and my brother was Andrew and he said, I just need someone to vent to and talk to and be my sounding board, I'd like, it can't be me. We can talk about it later when everything's said and done, but it can't be me right now.
And you know why.
What do you think,
I'm just so sick of the whole topic of the media being so in bed with the Democrat Party. The fact that they're brothers adds kind of another layer to that relationship. But I mean, in 2016, 96% of all political donations went to Hillary Clinton from journalists. I mean, that's a real stat. So he's got to know the environment in which he's talking to his brother and how it's going to look. He's got to be more careful than that.
I think that the reality of the situation, I mean, like, good grief. You think Joe Biden's advised Hunter Biden at all on anything? Like, maybe shut up would be my first advice that I would give. I don't understand. No, false. Fake news, Annie. I completely understand because it's permitted. The fact that Chris Cuomo is serving in an official capacity, weighing in on these issues, just shows that there is no fear or concern with these people whose job it is to report news to you or to react to news to you. I mean, I don't think anyone tunes into Chris Cuomo, or which one's the governor? Andrew. Chris Cuomo. Nobody tunes into Chris Cuomo being like, I wonder what the objective news is today. Let's listen to Chris Cuomo. Nobody does that. If it comes up in conversation, like you said, Katie, I bet that if I were in Chris's position, I think I would probably be trying to figure out what's the thing that I can say to my brother that will tell him what I want him to know or what I want him to think, that if it were repeated on air, I wouldn't feel mortified professionally because of it. But like on the side, have a conversation like, what are you doing? I think my biggest problem here is probably the advice that Chris Cuomo gave Andrew Cuomo sucks, which is stay there and keep doing your thing. You're going to be fine. We're all going to protect you. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't the fly on the wall. Would have loved to have been. Maybe not. But, you know, just another example. I remember when Sean Hannity had made a text message that somebody got a hold of, or an email or something, to Matt Gaetz advising him on something, and people got bent out of shape about that. And I don't even remember what the issue was. Matt Gaetz has a lot of issues these days. So I'm looking at, like, what's the comparison here? The apples to apples or apples to oranges? If you're a Democrat, it is apples to oranges. You just get to play by a different set of rules.
Yeah.
Gabe, what's your question?
We see a lot from the left about how they want to tear down the system, kind of thing, right? You know, that's all they seem to want to do is just blow it all up. And of course, we oppose that. But, you know, there are things about the system we don't like. So what aspect of the system, quote unquote, for lack of a better term, does need to be torn down, in your opinion? I'll give you some time to chew on that one. I actually haven't. There are very specific things I want to happen, but torn down, I'm not so sure of. Like, I don't even have an answer to my own question.
Like torn down and rebuilt, or just torn down and gone completely?
Probably rebuilt, or replaced, I guess, maybe might be the better term for it.
I'll go first. How about the idea of abortion as being a feminist effort to try to provide equal sexual rights to women over men? And in the original feminist movement, which was trying to actually give women an equal opportunity to sit at the table and have conversations and be appreciated for their mind and their contribution, as opposed to being discriminated just because their gender was a certain thing, we get to postmodern feminism, where the only thing that is important, the holy grail of feminism right now, is the idea that women can have irresponsible sex and not have any consequences to pay for it. And the left uses that as an opportunity to kill people. That is what it is. Like, let's talk about the science behind it.
That's
because
real.
Trust me, I am looking right now.
Real news.
I'm showing you the ultrasound of the baby that is in my womb, and this was at 24 weeks, folks. I am 12 weeks past this. There's her eyes, her nose, her mouth. I can show you her hands, her fingers.
Hands.
There's her little profile. That's a baby. Fight me. I will fight you 36 weeks pregnant, and I will kick your butt if you want to tell me that's not life. Once we agree on what that is, then we can talk about what we want to do with it. If you're willing to admit that that baby deserves to die so that you can have consequence-free sex like men, that's not feminism. That's stupid. That's ignorant. How about holding men accountable for their responsibility of 50% of the existence of those two eyes, that nose, and that little mouth? How about we hold men responsible instead of making it so that women can be equally irresponsible? I'm sorry, the genetics are women carry the babies. Kind of a controversial thing to say. Weird for me to say that while I'm 36 weeks pregnant,
now, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's the truth. And if we tore down the conversation that has existed before, which is it's about equal rights, my body, my choice, doesn't really work that way for masks or vaccines, does it? But it should work for the life of the children that we're killing. Sorry, you just
you good.
Go there.
You good. You hit it.
I think I would want to do something for immigration, and notably, like, I think we need to erase the idea that we have these strict laws and process and procedure, and one of them being that we probably should build a wall around our perimeter, that it's not like a racist thing. We're not doing it because we're a racist country and because we don't believe that immigrants should be coming over to our country to help it and to make it prosper and better. I just think that it's a very that process is supposed to be complicated for a reason, and I don't really necessarily think that we should have the notion of racism in the process of our immigration. I just wish that part would go away. I also think I have a lot of friends that have trouble with their visas and their green cards. And I know that that's kind of a broken system and like a really chaotic system. So I think something
do better
in that process I'd like to break and probably rebuild so that it could be a little bit more straightforward and organized.
Amen.
What about you, Ryan?
I think this is answering the question, but the idea that there is no absolute truth, that there's your truth, my truth, and everybody's opinion is truth.
It's definitely a part of the current system. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we could sort of just get past the idea, even if we don't agree on what the truth is, that there is a truth, I think that would be a step forward.
That's a good start.
Your truth and my truth exist, but that's actually what we call opinion.
Yeah. Yes. There you go.
It exists.
Perspective.
But it's perspective and opinion based on your experience.
I would tear down the IRS and all tax laws and start over.
No big deal.
Because it's currently stupid. It's all stupid.
Ryan, what's your question?
I'm going to go for it with like a minute left here. If you had the option of experiencing hell for 5 seconds, would you do it?
Nope.
No.
No need.
No.
I mean, I don't need to convince myself that I don't want to be there. I've already made that decision.
I don't think I could come back here and live with that trauma. I mean, it might make me like a much better individual, like living on Earth. Like it probably would make me a better person. But like, I think I would for the rest of my life be reliving that 5 seconds over and over and over and over again to the day I died.
Would you, Ryan?
I don't know. That's kind of the.
You don't have an answer to your own question.
Neither did Gabe.
Well,
I didn't start out with one.
Right?
It's not Gabe's question though.
No, previously.
That's what aboutism. Don't do that.
I mean, it would change the way you live. Like for the rest of the time you're here, it would change the way you live, and it would make your priorities straight.
Kind of what Gabe was saying.
So that part of it,
it's a good
would
point.
be good. But I don't know that I would want to. Still don't know that I would want to do it. I don't think I would.
The good Lutheran in me can't pass up the opportunity to say that the difference between hell and heaven is the absence and the presence of God. And if you went to hell and experienced it for 5 seconds and came back and then wanted to try to be a really good person, you can be a fantastic person and not know God. That's just the truth of the matter. And not knowing the love of God and knowing the failure of who you are as a person, who I am as a person, the only thing that completes me is knowing God and knowing that God loved me enough to make me the person who I need to be, to not have to know 5 seconds of hell. I don't need it. Don't want it. Don't want anyone I love to have to experience it. And that includes you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me preach my Bible a little bit there.
Well, and really, this world is basically the mixture, right? It's a mixture of heaven and hell. We've experienced, God's presence here. We've experienced His absence in the dark places of dark corners of the world, dark corners of our own minds. So the question is this going to be all the hell you experience, or is it going to be just a preview?
Nope. Don't need to know it. Don't need to try it. Don't intend to try it. Jesus loves you. Just know that. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the only natural place to go is to speak to Kevin Wheeler next about hockey, about Cardinals, about the dichotomy of the good versus the bad. Kevin Wheeler will lay it out for us when we come back. How to fix the St. Louis Blues and those Cardinals on fire. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Bounce. Come on, bounce. 7 always in control. You know what I'm saying? Bounce. Come on, bounce. I slam the door.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
I'm the king of the castle.
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to The Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hairsaloon.com is the website. If you're looking to get a haircut and you want to be able to rely on it being a great haircut, you want to go to Hair Saloon. Hair Saloon believes men deserve better, and they show it in each and every haircut that they get to do. I commend Hair Saloon for, we talked about National Law Enforcement Week, Police Week. Was it last week? Week ago? I don't know. Time flies. They offer a 25% discount on services all day and every day for veterans, active duty military, and first responders. They work hard to make sure that they provide an environment that is worthy of your time, your choice, to patronize them, to trust them with your haircut. And as I said, it absolutely shows. My husband gets his haircut there. He's going to be making an appointment soon. I had to remind him of that. I'm like, you need to get your haircut. And he's always excited when the time comes to go to hair salon because he gets a few minutes to himself. He gets treated like royalty, complimentary beverage, a relaxing shampoo, hot towel and mint, complimentary shoe shine, and a whole host of different haircuts that you can choose from. Plus, he likes to use their Saloon Black hairline. If you're looking for a haircut near you, you can go online and schedule one at a location near you at hairsaloon.com.
Have you noticed lately all the mom and pop home buyers popping up everywhere? They all say the same thing, how they'll buy any house in any condition for cash and close quickly. So who should you trust? How about America's #1 home buyer, Homevestors, also known as the We Buy Ugly Houses people? We've purchased over 95,000 houses, ugly or not, since 1996. We can make you an all-cash offer on the spot for your house that you can count on. Call 800-44-BUYER or go to WeBuyUglyHouses.com. Each franchise office is independently owned and operated.
Hello, Marvin Mitchell here from Compass Retirement Solutions. Did you know that the average 3-year CD rate in the area was less than 1%? That's why we are excited to offer you several accounts that are short-term and pay better than bank rates. For example, we currently have a 3-year account paying 2.4% and a 5-year account paying 3.5% per year guaranteed. What a great place for your lazy money. You know, the money that you don't plan to use for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, terms and conditions do apply. So for more information, call 314-373-1598. Again, call 314-373-1598. This is Marvin Mitchell, and we would like to put your lazy money to work for you. Call 314-373-1598.
Guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Rates can change without notice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Have you always dreamed of a lush green lawn? Get that beautiful curb appeal without the hassle by calling Professional Irrigation Systems. They'll install your new automatic lawn sprinkler system and give you a variety of options and warranties. Don't spend half your day lugging a hose around watering your lawn. Let Professional Irrigation Systems do the work for you. They offer spring activations, backflow testing, mid-season tune-ups, and winterization. Call the pros that have been in business for 20 years. Professional Irrigation Systems. Online at proirrigation.com.
Critical thinking for critical times. You're listening to the #1 talk station in St. Louis. A voice for the free exchange of ideas. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
I've got a new age girl. Tell us what she's like. Environmentalist girl. Does she ride a bike? She has a crystal necklace. She spends a lot of cash. Her vibes are rather reckless. She's heading for a crash. Or her flowing skirt is blowing in a transcendental wind. And she wonders without knowing, where did we begin? Mary Moe! She's a vegetarian.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Glad that you are here with us. We appreciate your time and we appreciate your company. When you guys are watching the stories unfold today, I feel like we talked a little. My Real or Fake News was about Donald Trump and was about his presence in the minds of his detractors. I feel like it's more in the minds of his detractors than it is in the people who he actually has the support of. But I just want you to think on this for a second. The effect that he has on the Republican Party, the effect that he is going to continue to have. Is it going to be bigger? Is it going to be smaller? I would love to hear what you think about it. And we'll get back to that in a little bit and read some of your responses on the live chat. I want to get to Kevin Wheeler now. KMOX Sports Reporter with us
Let's
today.
talk a little business of baseball here.
This is a simple game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball.
There's no crying in baseball.
Cardinals, Blues, and more with sports reporter Kevin Wheeler.
Kevin Wheeler, KMOX Sports Reporter, joining us on Thursday as usual to talk a little bit of updates about St. Louis sports. Kevin, welcome back to the show. Good to have you here.
Well, I thank for still having me. I don't know why you guys do, but I like it.
We like to talk about things other than other things that we talk about for the rest of the show. At least I do. I hope it's not only selfish, but we love having you here. I want to talk about the Blues. Usually we go Cardinals first, but the playoff Blues, if you just look at the scores, it's pretty rough. Yesterday, speaking of rough, pretty rough game for the Blues with some injuries. What's going to happen in the rest of the series as the St. Louis Blues bring it back home to home ice?
Well, I mean, the news isn't getting any better.
Agreed.
I mean, they got past a little scare. Yes, had 4 players miss the game because of COVID. It turns out there was some kind of error and it got corrected, so they had those guys on the ice. But I mean, you're already without David Perron, who is the team's leading scorer. You still have a group that even, you still have Vince Dunn out there. Tarasenko's still not the old Vlad Tarasenko. So you're not really 100% anyway. And after what I saw last night, I don't have a whole lot of hope that Justin Falk's going to play in the rest of the series. And that's he looked like he got knocked out.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was scary to see him laying on the ice there.
Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that clearly a dirty hit by a player that's known for dirty hits. I mean, Nazem Kadri's done this a number of times. There's a couple of stories out there listing all the different times that he's been suspended over the last 4 or 5 seasons for this type of stuff. Illegal check to the head back in 2015, hit another guy in the head in 2013, cross-check in 2019, boarding in 2018. I mean, this guy's been suspended now multiple times for these kind of illegal hits. And the fact that, I mean, he's facing a hearing, so he may get suspended as a part of all of this. But I've never understood that, this guy might put Justin Falk out for the rest of the series, or, you could put somebody out for the rest of a regular season, yet you get to come back after 5 games while that guy's sitting on the sideline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I were doing this in an eye for eye way, the guy that delivers a dirty hit, whether it's intentional or not, because the league has already established that the responsibility for this stuff is on the hitter. If the guy that delivers the hit does damage, I would argue that guy should sit as long as the injured player's out.
Love it. Yeah, I love that. I thought you brought up something I wanted to follow up on here. The NHL releasing a statement just yesterday. I'm going to read a little bit of it. This morning, we became aware of certain test results involving multiple players in 2 clubs, the Blues and the Knights, the Golden Knights, that had indicated positive results for the COVID virus. Because those reported results emanated from the same lab and due to other peculiarities and similarities as among the test results themselves, an investigation was initiated into the possibility that the initial test results reported may have been an error. All affected players immediately isolated and further testing was done involving collected samples. Those tests have returned uniformly negative results, therefore confirming that the initial reported test results were an error. What can you tell us about this? I mean, that's a pretty dramatic thing. If they wouldn't have caught this in time, there's gigantic implications on how this affects the game, the playoffs, and the integrity of what the NHL is trying to do.
I mean, yeah, that's the big thing here is that you can't have mistakes, generally speaking, of that in that way, and you certainly can't have them the day of a playoff game. Now, thankfully, and the guys that would have missed were Jaden Schwartz, Vlad Tarasenko, Marco Scandella, and Jordan Binnington. And
That's
look,
a big deal. That would have been a
I
problem.
mean, in terms of the result, it wouldn't have been any worse than what actually happened.
Also true.
It was also a loss. But I mean, you don't know that in advance, and that really, you have to make sure that the standards are not only strict, but that the people that you're charging with, doing the tests and processing them, that you're not going to have just simple, basic mistakes. I mean, it could have impacted 2 teams. I mean, it was Las Vegas too, not just the Blues. So yeah, it was a close call and it was a scare, and it certainly jacked everything up because those players couldn't practice yesterday morning. They couldn't go through the morning skate. They had to hold them out just in case they were actually positive. So again, I think the result kind of negates any of the real concern on the Blues side of it, but I don't think it helps. I don't think the chaos of the day helped at all.
Yeah.
Kevin Wheeler, Camo X Sports. I remember going to hockey games in the past as recently as 2019 when the Blues were in the playoffs and won the Cup. And there is nothing like playoff hockey for a fan anyway. And it just seemed to me like if you were playing at home and you had the home ice advantage in hockey in particular, man, that was a huge deal. Is that the same this year? I mean, we're coming back home now. But is the home ice advantage as big of a deal with the restrictions on number of people in the stands?
It is, but and some of it's related to noise, right? I mean, the energy of the building and knowing that those people are kind of quote unquote on your side and all that. The other advantages to being a home team, though, are that you're in your own beds, you're not in a hotel, you're in your normal routine, you're used to the facilities. There's a lot that goes into home ice, home field advantage depending on the sport that you're talking about. But in the NHL, like in the regular season, in every sport, it matters. Like there is no coincidence that most teams are better at home than they are on the road, and that's every sport across the board. So there are clearly things that matter there. It's a little less certain in the playoffs, especially the NHL playoffs. They're just weird. Like strange things happen, and hopefully they will happen, back here in St. Louis. It won't hurt the Blues to get back. It'd be nice to have the crowd on their side and all of that. And the old cliche, guys, is a playoff series doesn't really get started until a home team loses a game. In other words, until somebody breaks serve, right? If the Blues win their home games, well, now it's 2-2 going into Game 5. So, there's that's kind of like the old cliche, but the first two games in this one haven't gone particularly well. And some of the things the Blues need to do, like stay out of the penalty box, are not going well.
Can we keep up with Colorado? Can we match their speed and win these home games?
Not by matching their speed. No. They can win the series, right? They can still come back, but the odds were bad before. Some of the statistical models out there only gave the Blues like a 10 or 12% chance of winning the season, or the series, I should say. And Vegas gave them almost no chance of winning the series. So the odds are worse now than they were 3 days ago. There's no question about that. But again, I've seen these types of deficits erased. I've seen, a lower seed beat the top seed probably a dozen times in my life watching the NHL playoffs. But the hard part here is not only how good Colorado is, but they're healthier than you. And, if Falk is out, and it didn't look like when you get a concussion, you get into head injury type stuff, you have no idea how long that absence is going to be. And it's typically more than a few days. If he's out, you're down your number one defenseman this year. And you're going up against a team that has all that offensive firepower. It's going to be tough. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to get more physical. They're going to have to crowd the front of the net, as far as, getting in front of Grubauer and causing problems, just like Colorado's done to Blues, by the way. So, they're going to have to completely revamp what they're doing. I shouldn't say revamp. That's not the right way. They're going to have to re-emphasize what they want to do, because it's very clear that shots from the perimeter are not going to be good enough in this. You're going to have to get people up front.
Let's shift gears and talk about the Cardinals a bit. 25-18 on the season, which is looking pretty nice overall. Rough series in San Diego, but coming back against the Pirates, especially Jack Flaherty, putting him in conversations with the name, no big deal, Bob Gibson with an 8-0 start. Who's better in the majors pitching right now than Jack Flaherty?
Not many. You might be surprised at how many are in that same range, though.
And why is Jack Flaherty not thrown a no-hitter yet?
What's
he waiting on? Where's the no-hitter
I don't know.
from
What's
the
up
St.
with
Louis
that?
Cardinals? Yeah.
Yeah, what's up with that? I don't get that at all, man. Flaherty should have 3 of them by now, the way things are going. Here's the crazy thing. He's been amazing. He's obviously 8-0. He's won all 8 starts in a row. On opening day, he gave up 6 earned runs in 4 1/3, and he's given up. I think it's now 8 earned runs in the 8 games since then, or maybe it's 9. It's something like that. So yeah, in the last 9 games, his ERA is like 1.7, and that's crazy. But the even crazier thing is, as good as he's been, you got Jacob deGrom with the Mets, who's got a 0.68 earned run average and 5 in 6 starts, and it's just the numbers from pitchers this year are just astronomical. And of course, everybody has followed the no-hitter trend, right? There've already been 6, and the most ever in a single season is 7. So, yeah.
And it's May. It's May 20th.
Yeah, and it's May, right? It's not even late May. It's early. It's mid-May, yeah.
Yeah.
Just real quick, since I don't know if we've talked to you since Pujols signed with the Dodgers, but were the Cardinals just uninterested?
I don't think I would put it that way, but, Mo was asked about that earlier this week, and he basically said it was kind of hard to see a fit. And I agree with that, by the way. I was saying that before the team ever said it, so I would have looked like a jackass if they decided they wanted to bring him in. Because I don't think it's a fit. They don't need another right-handed pinch hitter only on the bench. They don't need a first base only guy. And as we talked about before, I mean, Albert just hasn't been good in a long time. And, you look at it from the Dodgers perspective, they actually needed a right-handed bat for the bench. They have a bunch of guys on the injured list. But when they can start getting all their players back, there's no guarantee that Albert's still going to be there in 2 months. I mean, he's going to have to perform well because they've got a really deep roster. So when they start getting guys back off the injured list, then we'll have a better idea of how that's going to go. But I'm sure the Cardinals, and again, the question that was asked of Mo was basically, did you guys have interest? And, would it be more about like current day performance or maybe nostalgia, something along those lines? And Mo made it pretty clear that that really wasn't an area they thought was going to help them. They decided that's just it's not something that they need at the moment. And I have to agree with that. And especially sounds good agreeing from my end because I said that before they did. So I'm glad Mo
You rolled
agrees.
the dice and it turned out well for you.
I don't want to be on the wrong side of the GM or on the president of the baseball operation.
Or on the Albert Pujols issue in St. Louis, Missouri. I mean, it can be complicated. For sure, it has been for a while. Real quick, I wanted to follow up on that. Do you anticipate that Albert Pujols has some sort of role? He'll have a red jacket here in St. Louis probably very shortly. But will he have a role with the team, or do you think that that's probably not in the cards for him?
I don't know. I mean, I would think if he moves back to St. Louis, I would think they'd want him around.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. He's got a personal services contract that extends for like 10 years beyond his career. It's like $1 million a year or something like that. But I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he's got to go. He's going to go to their spring training and work with young guys after he retires, or I have no idea what the restrictions are on that. But he'll be a big part. And when the Cardinals celebrate anything that involves the Red Jackets, once he retires and he's chosen to be a Cardinals Hall of Famer, which will clearly happen, and he will be a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer on the first ballot, I'm sure that they will have him around at every appropriate event. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where St. Louis gets that emotion, that satiation of that emotion that they were wanting to have now, without the complications of potentially sullying some of that memory, having them come back and having, as you said, people, when we talked about you with this the first time, you said Matt Carpenter has the similar numbers, and St. Louis has got a specific kind of relationship with Matt Carpenter right now. It would have sucked to have him come back and to perform in that capacity, and then have that be the lasting taste in your mouth from such a wonderful experience in the first place.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, imagine he comes in and stinks, and then you got to release him.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't want to even open that door if I were the team. Now, I might take that risk if he had performed better, but as I'm not going to go over the numbers again, but I mean, it's been 5 years since Albert's been a quality major league hitter. So, Kevin, I wouldn't want to do that.
We appreciate you. Love talking to you about these things, and we'll watch more hockey here shortly, and hopefully we figure out a solution to the Colorado problem that we've got, and then get a victory here coming up soon.
Yeah, that would be great. Hopefully you guys steal a win in Game 3. We can make Game 4 interesting.
All right, we'll be talking to you about it. Kevin Wheeler, thanks so much. Good to talk to you.
You got it. Take care.
On Twitter at Kevin Wheeler 94. KMOX Sports Reporter joins us each Thursday. Quick break. When we come back, Ask Me Anything with Carl Middleman. He's talked to us about his GI issues. He's talked to us about bidets. I don't know. I never know what he's going to say. It's very hard to predict. It's how we end the show.
It's always a personal issue
because there's nowhere to go after Carl Middleman Ask Me Anything. I don't know what's going to happen next. And we will find out about that when he comes in here. Stick around. Bye-bye.
Going in a transcendental wind, and she wonders without knowing, where did we begin? Mary Moe, she's a vegetarian.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
Mary Moe will outlive all the septuagenarians.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your air conditioner ready for the summer heat with a maintenance agreement from Air Comfort Service. Monthly maintenance plans start at only $15 per month. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Rudy Beck at Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law started offering Medicaid planning 20 years ago to families concerned about not being able to afford care or worried about going broke in a nursing home. I mean, you think about that tragic time where you're worried about the health of your loved one. Of course, that's at the epicenter of your world, and they're in a nursing home, and you're concerned about how this is going to go and what kind of care they're going to get. But there's also that lingering concern about how to afford it. You do not want those two things conflicting at that time. You need your full energy focused on yourself or your loved one who's experiencing that. That's why Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law has been so aggressive in making sure that St. Louisans know that there is help out there, and that Beck and Lennox Estate Planning and Elder Law, they are the experts at getting you that help to plan ahead so you have that peace of mind. Beck and Lennox helps hundreds of clients every year with their estate planning and elder law needs. You be the next one. Call them at 636-946-7899 and schedule your free consultation today. 636-946-7899, BeckElderLaw.com.
Sometimes old ideas aren't good, they're just old. For too long, Missouri officials have operated on the mistaken notion that education should only take place in person in an assigned public school. The pandemic has shown that's not good enough. Reform is needed to give parents choices to get their children the best education available. One great option is education savings accounts, or ESAs. The money the state would normally pay to your child's public school would go into an account that you control. You would be able to access the funds for private school tuition, online learning programs, or other approved uses. You can use that money to tailor your child's education. ESAs would put parents in charge. It's school choice at its best, with money following the student and not buildings. Let's help parents find an education that fits the needs of their child. Learn more in our 2021 Missouri Blueprint, moving Missouri forward at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
The weather is changing, and so should your home. Time to make an investment with your home. Make that investment with Universal Windows Direct, an investment that will increase the value of your home and improve the overall look and feel. Universal Windows Direct will save you money on your energy bills and make cleaning a breeze. And best yet, you can put off paying for those windows for 2 years. Call us now to schedule your personal estimate and take advantage of our buy one window, get one window free, plus 0 payments and 0 interest for 2 years. Call 314-334-2522 or click now at universalwindowsdirect.com.
What makes for a great vacation? Depends on who you ask. Are you looking to get away or bring everyone together? Do you want to get outside and play or see a play at the plate? Fortunately, however you operate, I'm the destination you've been looking for. The name's Missouri, but you can call me Mo. And I have just one question. What's your MO? Come see me at visitmo.com.
Brought to you by the Missouri Division of Tourism.
Since you've been spending more time at home, you may have been cleaning and reorganizing and decided it's time to part with some of the jewelry you never wear or cash in some of those collectibles gathering dust. Bring your gold, silver, and diamonds to the all-new Jewels on Hampton. They're paying some of the highest prices on precious metals, coins, and memorabilia. Exclusive designs from Alvanza's Jewel Art Designs, watches, and thousands of other treasures await you at Jewels on Hampton. Come by and see the new jewelry displays that will wow you, and the wide variety, and most importantly, the price. During these times of caution, Jewels on Hampton is taking all the precautions and measures to be CDC compliant for your safety. Jewels on Hampton. So whether you need to cash in some of that old jewelry you don't need or trying to find that perfect ring, necklace, or watch, you'll get the best prices on the all-new Jewels on Hampton, where they pay top dollar every day. 4506 Hampton in St. Louis Hills and jewelsonhampton.com.
Weekdays from 6 to 7. Catch the Dave Glover Show on 97.1. It's the best of each day, boiled down to 1 hour. The DGS Highlight Hour, every weekday at 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
I love how excited people are when Carl comes into the room on the live chat. Carl, you've made
Carl
an
loves it
impression.
too.
No! Why?
Vicky says, and I quote on Facebook, Carl is the surprise I need today. Smiley face.
Aw,
thanks, Vicky.
Like Norm.
Carl!
Yeah, okay, Carl.
Carl!
I said it was to be asked me anything. It's Annie, are you okay? It was written. we moved some things around, and I am basically
You're on vacation already.
What's the guy's? Who's Anchorman? I can't even
Will
think.
Ferrell?
No.
Ron
wait,
Burgundy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just read what's there.
Yeah, whatever's on
Katie
the
writes
prompter.
it, and I'm like, well, Katie wrote it. It's probably right. So
Probably
this is
true.
what
It
we're
was true at 12.
It
Not
was.
true now.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Things
Stay classy, St. Louis.
There's a time and place when I'm like on it. It's not today.
Bye.
Probably a much better show, actually. So
Hi, Ryan.
Can you see
Hi,
Ryan?
Carl.
I can see Ryan. I can see
have you
everybody.
guys heard
Hey.
Closet Factory hammering anything upstairs? You haven't heard it at all,
No.
right?
No.
They were doing some demo
Graceful.
around 10 o'clock. And they were like, I don't know what they were doing. I'm like, this could be a problem.
Bad.
We got
There's
closet
no second floor now.
Closet Factory upstairs working on my girls' closet, trying to make. I'm gonna fit 3 girls in 2 closets. We'll see how this works. While the third girl is an infant, it's probably only gonna get more complicated. We have a lot of Closet Factory visits coming up, but they're a great sponsor of the show, and they're working here, and they've been amazing. All right, Carl.
Technically, every house is a closet. It's just a
Every
big
house.
closet.
Okay, well, Carl is
Interesting
surprised that
perspective
Vicky
there,
needed
Carl.
here. So
It's just a place for your stuff, as George Carlin used to say.
Philosophical musings.
Annie,
Christopher says, "Ask me anything." Teased before the break. Anything. The question is, Annie, are you okay?
Yeah.
The answer is clearly
Annie,
not.
did you have a gender reveal party?
Heck no.
Okay.
Are you kidding? Are you
You listen
kidding?
to the show.
So I didn't have with my first. So much did not have a gender reveal that my husband did not want to know the sex of the baby when we were pregnant for the first time, and I couldn't not because I have rough pregnancies and I needed the personalization of what was growing inside of me. So I found out at about 17 weeks what we were having. My husband knew I knew, and he did not know until my son was born.
Wow.
So not only did we not reveal the gender,
You had a gender
to other
non-reveal.
people, yeah, it was quite the opposite.
So you've heard about all of these gender reveal.
Gender conceal.
Gender conceal party. Everybody opens up the cake, and it's just
It's white cake.
it's a white cake.
Ryan said that. Wasn't that something that Ryan said one time?
Gender concealed.
Like a race reveal?
Oh, yeah.
That was not good.
It's Ryan's.
I don't think you
hilarious.
intended to say it. He's like,
Well,
never mind. We shouldn't
That's
even talk about
hilarious.
it.
But Annie, are you okay with other people having gender reveal parties?
I mean, generally speaking, because I don't want to be a jerk, I'm a libertarian on these issues, but I don't
for
want to
it.
participate in that.
Well, like this guy in Massachusetts who detonated 80 pounds of explosives.
I read about this. He's like in big trouble.
So I went through this story,
At least somebody died.
7 different articles, and only one of them had
The gender?
the gender.
Oh my gosh.
It's a gender concealed.
Why would you?
That's because I'm like, I wonder what it was. And then finally I got one that says sheriffs arrived to a big puff of blue smoke. And I said, oh,
Okay.
it's a boy.
Boy, connecting the dots.
This is why I don't like gender reveals, because there is a presumption that everybody else cares as much about your gender, your baby's gender, as you do. And it emphatically is not true. I mean, people are there. There's nobody who's going to come there who's going to be significantly more happy that you are going to have a boy or that you are going to have a girl.
They know what to buy, though.
I think
Not for that party.
Well, no, but not for. You're not supposed to bring a gift for that, are you?
yes.
Probably.
I think that's
these
one of the
parties.
reasons that they exist. It's
Parties.
another excuse to have a party, which is another
You can
excuse
get
for
stuff.
gifts, and it's another excuse for dudes to blow stuff up.
This guy
Except
was
for those are the ones that make the news.
right.
Not
Anthony
really in a flat
No,
way.
that's part of the
Anthony
goal.
Colombo.
I guarantee you that's part of the
Spinelli.
goal.
So yeah, this guy
80
blew up.
pounds of explosives.
80
That's
pounds of
so
explosives.
crazy.
2 counties away thought it was an
40 pounds of
earthquake.
explosives, is someone like, no, we should probably
Let's
do
do
that.
more.
Well, it also
That's how my family talks about how much beer we should get, and it depends. Are we having the Fry family over? Are we having my family over?
Wow. Which
40.
family?
No, maybe we should double that.
They double that. Yeah.
2 tubs worth.
2
Not
tubs.
explosives.
So where do you come down on this then? Explosives?
Are
no.
you a 40 or an 80?
80 pounds of explosive
Or
on a
160.
gender reveal.
She's not
You
okay
reveal
with
that gender for the tri-state area. You do that for the people because they care. Stop lying to us.
Oh,
The
somebody
blue
in
cloud
Mount
was a
Vernon must be
mushroom.
having a boy.
A former Amazon engineer has created an app.
I guess if you're using explosives, can we assume that that's like a conservative? Like, don't care if it's a boy or a girl. How's
he
this thing
did
gonna
buy them
vote in
over the
18
counter at a gun store.
In Illinois, that would mean he had a FOID card,
Mhm.
and you'd know that he went through that process.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to deduce the future of our country.
Former Amazon engineer creates an app that reportedly translates your cat's meows.
No, Katie, I'll let you take this one.
I don't like any of that stuff.
Okay, so
I don't want to
Your
know.
cat's meows
really.
are like F you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Really.
called
Hate speech.
it's called Meow Talk, and it's an
The
app.
dog's bark is like hi,
Hi.
hi,
Hi, feed me.
Me. Hi.
I want to go outside.
I love you.
I want to do whatever you want.
Happy.
Cat-
Happy.
Hey, remember
F
Up?
you.
It's that.
Yes, squirrel.
Yep.
I love you.
And
What's the cat
so
saying?
I've only
What did
just
they
met
learn?
you, but I love you.
what they've learned is cats do not meow to each other. They only meow
At us.
at us.
Yeah.
9 different things. There are only 9 things that if a cat is meowing, it says 1, I'm hungry, I'm happy, I'm in pain.
What?
Yeah.
That's hard. Wait, is it?
They don't that's not how cats communicate to each other. They only
unless they're
communicate.
I've seen two
kittens.
cats meow at one another
What
or
is-
like hiss.
Look at our idiot. Well, hissing is different.
Yeah.
But I
but-
thought they meow at each other. I've seen two cats meow at each other.
This
No.
is the red meat substance that people come to the Annie
I'm
Price show
saying,
for right
when you
here.
when you woke up today,
they're
did
calling-
you think
Two
that you'd
cats
be-
talking to each other.
They're
I know
calling-
what they were saying
They're
to each
calling
other.
for their humans.
Get over here.
Yeah.
Come on.
I do not want to be by this
Demanding.
cat.
This is another cat in my house. Get it out.
So with these 9 things, like I want my toy,
Mhm.
you can communicate and find out what your cat wants. Are you okay with that, Katie?
Isn't the entire reason you get a cat is because you don't have to like attend to
anything.
them
Yeah.
at the time?
You don't need
Like
any
everything
attention.
they do is you
I
just
love-
leave it out.
I
and they
loved having a
graze.
cat. It was so
It's
fun.
so great. I don't want to know what any of my animals are truly thinking because I don't think it'll be really annoying. We had this conversation about dogs.
Would make
Yeah.
you feel
Hi.
good.
It's
Hi.
just like too much.
Hey, hey, hey.
Crystal on YouTube says, as a grandma, very thoroughly and respectfully disagree regarding
Mhm.
the gender reveal. I was very ecstatic for my daughter's recent gender reveal. My first grandson is on the way. But gender reveal parties aren't just the people who are directly involved in,
Right.
like, you don't get to
A group,
call this.
there might be a group of 10.
Yeah.
And then outside of that,
They're
Yeah.
gift givers.
Do you have a gender reveal
Gift
and a
givers.
baby shower? I mean, I just feel like at that point, it's just
It's double dipping.
excessive. Yes. But good for you, Krista. I'm very excited for you.
Okay, so
Congratulations.
Annie, were you a fan of the show Friends?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you excited about the HBO Max reunion?
Oh, I
I don't
think
really
we might
know
have talked
anything.
about this.
I don't even think I don't know a whole lot about it. I know Matthew Perry had a rough time.
Not that. Paul Rudd was not invited, who
Why?
played Phoebe's husband
yeah,
for
yeah.
2 years.
Oh, wow.
Is he being an Ant-Man or something at the time?
Well,
He's too popular. He's outgrown the show.
They couldn't pay him.
well, he doesn't age, so
He's busy
He
with
doesn't.
Cap.
Yeah, Ant-Man is, or Paul Rudd is great. I love Paul Rudd. He kind of is the person I wish that everybody was, at least in the way he presents himself. Too bad he wasn't invited. I also don't care. I don't even know enough about the thing to begin with. All right, thanks for listening today, Carl. Thank you, Gabe, Ryan, Katie. Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
It's Mark Beard.